I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you as well.
Okay,
Okay, we're
great.
just getting started. So, are you familiar with the book review that we're doing today?
I know it is the Hoodoo book. I looked for it on Amazon, but it was like a different name, so I didn't want to get the wrong book.
Okay. You don't remember what
Under
was the name?
uh, I should have wrote it down. It wait, I tell you, I put it in my I think I saved it, and I said I just want to confirm it because it said the same person,
Uh-huh, Miss
uh,
Aida.
but yeah, but it was just the name was a little different, and I know that people have different books, so I didn't want to, make this mistake of getting the wrong one. This one is oh, I didn't even save it. Okay, I think it's this one. Was it the Hoodoo cleansing protection magic?
Yeah, I'm looking
Okay,
for it on my drive here.
it was just a little different than how it
Not-
was on the page. So I didn't want to get
just-
the wrong one.
Okay. I'm looking for the one I have on file here, trying to see if I can find it uh in my little library over here. But
Oh,
why can't
okay.
I find it? It's weird. Can't find it.
It had hoodoo cleansing, but it had this says banish negative energy and ward off. But
Here
that
it
it
is.
didn't say that in the other one. Ward off unpleasant.
Unpleasant people.
Yeah. So I didn't
Yeah.
think that was the right one.
Okay. Well, at least you got the electronic one, right? Do you have the one on file that we have?
No, because I didn't know how to pull it down. I probably have to go back in the notes, in the messages that you sent, and it's probably attached somewhere, and I just haven't. I'm still working my way through Patreon. I'm not a tech person when it comes to stuff like that. It be in my face, and I don't
Okay.
get it. So I have to,
Okay.
because I know that you prefer to the online, and I said I don't see how to get it. So I'll figure it
Well,
out.
usually when you click on the link, there'll be a hyperlink in each post. It'll be blue with an underline up under it. And then when you click on it, uh, it'll open up probably in your Google Drive because it's a Google Drive
Yeah.
link. So it's going to open up in your Google Drive or it's going to open up in another window when you click on the
Okay,
link.
yeah, I figure I have to go back in the links because this was like a restream reminder for today, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to miss it." So yeah, I
Okay.
think it.
So have you read the book at all? Hi, Kosan. Hi, Kay. Hi, Miss Penny. I didn't realize review was
Oh,
today. Laugh aloud. I'm here cooking and Kai. I'm listening.
oh
Okay.
no.
So that's somebody else in the chat in our chat
Oh,
because this is a
okay.
live stream. Everybody's watching this. So the thing was to people come up here and share what they learned about the book or specific chapters that they want to review.
Got.
So did you read the book at all? Is there something in the book that you want to share that you want to
No,
know?
I have to read it. I have to get to it.
Okay, so you haven't read any nothing that you want to share here up here?
No, because that's what I was saying. I looked on Amazon for the book, and I just told you what it said, and that didn't seem like the same wording. So I have to go back in the pages to get the link because I wasn't on the
Okay.
link, so I have to get the link.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring you down and see if there's anyone else who wants to
Oh yeah,
share something
please
about
do.
the book because okay. How do I do this? Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. So is there anyone else? Here's Tina. Hey Tina, how you doing,
All right, how are
beloved?
you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So we had that book there. That's one of the first books that we put there is somebody else up here? Here's Deborah.
Hmm?
We had that book up there and
Cleansing.
so we posted a long time ago, but a lot of people in our group said, "Hey, Miss Penny, we want to go over this cleansing book." So that's what we're doing here. We're doing a live stream book review. Did anyone want to talk about the book? Any topics that you wanted to have a discussion on in the book?
Oh,
I see Deborah's here too.
okay. Take this down some so I can see. Hey.
Hey, Deborah, did you
Oh,
have
I'm trying
any?
to figure this out.
Hey, did you
Yes,
read the
I
book?
did. I looked over. I actually did something from it. Hold on, just one second, my dog. Yes, I do. I like the book.
Okay, so what was interesting about the book to you? What you took
Yeah,
away
and I
from
also
the
read
book?
your lecture. Read this your lecture today. Just the different things that the techniques that she gave for the cleansing part. The different things. I'm sorry. Think so.
One of the things when you first get in Hoodoo, I just gonna expand on that. One of the things in Hoodoo, when you first get in here, the most imperative thing you can do is start learning cleansing work. Start learning cleansing work because you're gonna need it when
Girl,
you
go
start
somewhere
doing
with
your
that breath,
shadow work
man.
and start dispelling a lot of those things. Okay. You're gonna need it when you start dispelling a lot of this energy that you're cleansing after yourself in your mind, all these toxins that you're releasing in your emotions, all this transmutation and all these things you're going to be doing while you're healing, doing your shadow work, working closely with your ancestors. You're going to need to have to protect cleansing work. Might as well get used to it because now you're going to be working with spirits a lot. Okay, and you understand more about energy and how it transfers. So having that spiritual hygiene is going to be important. And cleansing can be as simple as you need it to be, or if you have something a complex issue, you have that as well. Tina, what did you take away from the book? You wanted to talk about anything in the book? We can't hear you. You muted yourself.
The oils. How it didn't really say how to make the blessing oils and things like that that we need to should be using, like if you want to, I guess, bless your altar or put it on your third eye or something
Hmm.
like that. It doesn't say how to make it. It just says what you need, or what you can
Hmm.
use, right?
Now you Now you gonna see a lot of mini books like that. Some will break down how to craft your own conjure oils. Some of them just mention, just assume that you already make them or you buy them, and they'll just mention
Yeah.
them to you. But we do, however, and I know we have went through a variety of books. You have the what is that? Cunningham, is that his name? Herbal book. We've talked about animism. So you have a lot of books on animism as well. If you need to break down and learn how to make your conjure oils, we
Oh,
have
okay.
covered that.
Okay.
That's basically what I'm saying. That, and if you read the other books in there, especially the book Roots, what is it? Root Stones or
And
something
breaking
like
your
that. It's
bones.
about Rosie Bird. Yeah, her. She breaks it all down how to make the conjure oil. So we have a variety of books that's in there that show you how to make your conjure oil. But I'm gonna say this: even when you're making your own conjure oil, do how your ancestor leads you to make it.
Okay. You would, yeah. All right.
Okay, do how they lead you to make it. And you might have your own little spin on it. You can follow, get the the main ingredients to making a conjure oil. Deborah's back coming back in here. You can get the main ingredients of how to make the conjure oil, but your ancestors might tell you to add a little umph on it. I don't know. Okay, but again, this is about finding your own magic. Okay, it won't be precisely. The other person is just sharing their experience and how they do their stuff and what works for them. Once you start learning what the herbs do and the spices do, you can start putting things together yourself. Does that make sense? Okay, I would say start experimenting with that now. Uh, if you are doing some healing work or if you are doing some work, start experiencing making your own stuff. You have your almanac. An almanac is a great thing to follow when you're putting things together and making your own conjure products as well. We're getting ready to dive more into astrology over there. At the Before the end of this month, we'll be hitting astrology again and how to apply that in your workings. But cleansing is one of the first things that we talked about on here. And I'm just gonna go through the book and probably hit some topics I don't know. Yeah. So the main thing in this book where it's talking about the everyday nuisances and people take this as for granted is arguments, envy, jealousy, entitlement, all these different emotions that people carry. Again, these are toxic. This is toxic stuff. It's not gonna always look like woo woo woo. No, you got to remember that people are spirits. Okay, they are spirits. You seeing bodies, but these are spirits. Again, we have to really shift our thinking because they have programmed us
Right.
incorrectly. Okay. And so when you start running into these different personalities and stuff, you're working with these spirits in here. Now, some of the spirits they got them by we call them by scientific mental disorder names, such as narcissism, borderline personalities disorder. You know, all other sorts of psychopaths, sociopath. These are energies that with people that can affect our energy, can shift our mood and drop our frequency, making us susceptible to those type of energies interacting in us. See, I'm gonna break it down to a science because that's what this is. It ain't always woohoo. You might have somebody. I was on a train, catching a train to Malaysia one day, and it was a lady sitting beside us. It was two young women in front of us, and instantly, this woman, I saw her. She probably was well meaning, but she was sitting up there sucking the life out these young women energy by telling her all about her sicknesses and her problems. And she just kept going on. I said, these babies don't even know she is drawing their energy. And after she got done, them little girls got so sleepy they went to sleep. Okay, so you got to watch people like that. Are they aware that they are doing it sometimes? I don't. It's hard to say because some people get caught up in their misery and they just that's their personality. They right off the back they're gonna start. That's their conversation. They're gonna be talking about everything what's wrong with them, how many surgeries they had. That they just point to that like a garbage can. You become like a garbage can. They just
Oh, for
into
real?
you.
I
You gotta
didn't know
cut it
that.
off.
I used to do that. I didn't know that I was doing that to people. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they walk away feeling rejuvenated. Ooh, I got that off my chest. You walk away feeling
I
like
didn't.
crap.
I'm
Yeah, you feel good. Some people feel good because that's again how they do that. Hello, Oshun. You hear me? That's how they do that energy exchange. That's what's going on with again. You think you're gonna be looking at ghosts walking through walls and stuff like that? No. That's why when you get into psychology, we study a little bit. We hit on that's why we talked about the unconscious. We're gonna stay on the mind because these how these spirits
mm,
operate. These different personalities, these different characteristics. This is how these spirits again get in people. And you can hear them talking sometimes, and sometimes you can hear the spirit that's in them, the energy that's in them that's talking. But that's what we're dealing with. Okay. And you'll see that in a lot if you're reading the hoodoo books, most of them also they know about this intergenerational trauma and they know that people have these different type of issues, whether it's addiction or something like that, domestic violence. Most of them are going to put those resources to 12-step programs and domestic violence numbers and things like that in the back of their hoodoo book. Are you looking at the whole book? Because they have that in there. See, this is psychological through this is spiritual, and that's why we break down the mind and we talk about these personalities of psychology shadow work so you can discern better. You'll know what you're
in my
seeing
bed.
when you see these people acting or behaving like this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's why we review those books. Now, if you look at that, the better you assess yourself and your thinking and start working on yourself, the better you're gonna be able to discern because you know what's in your ancestral line. You know how those spirits work. You've seen them before. You have dispelled them and banished them out of your life. That's what this is about. Is this making sense to you?
Yes.
Tell me if
It
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 don't
makes
make
sense.
sense. Okay, that's we're going through these books. I break it all the way down for you. So again, and then you have these people too. You get a lot of people in hoodoo. Some people grab the hoodoo and they don't understand this part of hoodoo. They don't fully understand it. And then they find themselves confused or they find themselves being exploited because you didn't understand how spirits work through people. What did your Bible say? We said we do not wrestle with flesh and blood, we wrestle with spirits. And especially listen to what the people are saying about narcissism. They said that it's been my spirit, something deeper going on there. Because these spirits have the ability to gang stalk you. I have been gang stalked by the spirit that's in my family. That spirit. And I broke that down. We talk about intergenerational trauma. Those spirits get in your family like that. Do it's making sense to you? Okay. And that's why your spiritual baths need to kick on up, reading your scriptures, doing your ancestor work. That stuff needs to be. That's when you need to do it when
Oh,
on you when you first get in here. Oh, Shun, do you got anything to add? Have you read the book?
um, we
Which
on.
book? Which
Gerald
which
just told
which
me
book
that we
is
on
it?
YouTube.
It was listed on our. It was listed in our poll. The book is
I don't
called
know if she
Hoodoo
Oh
know that.
no,
Cleansing
no, no. I
and
haven't. I
Protection.
saw the book, but I haven't had a chance to read it.
Okay, that's one of the first book we learned when we get in there. The first book I have you go over in
Okay.
there.
Okay.
That's the first thing. That's the first thing. When you first get in there, if you're new to that, go back to our beginning, our platform. Don't start trying to do no magic. Don't start trying to do any of that. You're going to hear me say ancestor veneration. You're going to hear me say healing work, do some shadow work, aka ancestors work. That's when your spiritual baths and all that stuff, you'll start really learning why you have
Mhm.
that to heal on yourself.
Now, how often do you recommend we do? Oh,
Okay?
how often do you
Go
recommend we do
ahead,
spiritual
Deborah.
baths?
Uh, how often do you
Okay,
think you
because I
need
was
it?
reading some.
Okay, are you communicating with?
Some recommend seven,
Mhm. I
seven.
can't tell
Okay.
you what to do.
Some
Go
books say do
go
7 days
ahead,
a
cause
week or
you
something,
depend.
7 days or however. Their recommendation things.
This is the easiest way to do it. I always recommend that you get you some Florida water soap. That you get you some whatever. They got sandalwood soap. They got jinx soap. Uh, go away evil soap. In between your spiritual baths, you can bathe with those soaps to keep your energetic field clear. Does that make sense? Go
Gerald
ahead,
just told
Tina.
me that we on YouTube. Out, we out in the
Yeah, we
open
are.
like that on YouTube. Okay, so I'm just wondering.
Yes. Yeah, because we're just having a book
Okay,
review. We're not talking about anything
Mhm.
Okay.
okay,
personal here. We're just sharing how we break down and look at our books. We're just sharing a book
Mm,
and sharing, breaking more down. If y'all had any questions, that's all
okay.
we're doing
okay.
here.
Okay.
Okay. I thought I mentioned that in our
Mhm.
thing. So yeah, we're here, and that's just on the book reviews. We're doing that, so you're gonna be safe.
Okay.
I promise you, Tina. Okay, I'm gonna keep you safe. Okay, so that's one of the things that we break down first. Deborah, what was you saying again? You was about to say something else.
Um. Okay, so you said get like a soap or something. What type of soap? Like a Florida water. You said Florida water. I'm sorry.
They have Florida water soap.
Okay.
They have the Jinx soap, Go Away
Okay.
Evil soap, Sandalwood
Okay.
soap. They got one soap it's called Detol, and it's not for spiritual per se, but it is good for again warding off and cleansing any toxins that you're carrying in, anything you're gonna
What
attach to
about
yourself. Doing those
what
spiritual
about
cleansing.
what about African black soap?
Africa, I've never heard any spiritual benefits of African black soap in that way. Not to my knowledge. I've just never seen it in there like that. Okay, I'm not saying it can't cleanse. It probably can. But do your own research on that. But that's just one of the ones I've never heard of that. So you probably want to look
Okay.
deeper at that. Okay. So again, knowing how these personalities are gonna show up and how they be draining your energy. Watch how you feel around people, because people they don't know the power of their minds. They don't know the power of their words. It's some people can just have a thought. about you, and they don't mean to. They don't know the power of their mouth and their mind. So we do. So we got to keep ourselves clean now, because now we know
Right.
how spirits work. They may not know, but we know how
Mhm.
they know. And again, watch how they make you feel when you're coming in contact with them. And I promise you, if you're doing your shadow work, hey, Sanjay, yeah, they got hyssop soap. Kassan said they got hyssop soap. So again, watch how they make you feel. If they making you feel confused and stuff around them, something is going on with that person. Okay, I've had it when people come to me for a reading. I don't even want to read them because they got so much stuff on them. They are confused about what they want to know and they read. They don't even know why the hell they booked the reading. They all over the place in this reading. So I have to tell them to come back. Hey, you need to take a spiritual bath and come back, because this ain't right. You need to think about what your intentions with this reading. You don't know what you want right now. Sit down and think about the questions you want to ask in this reading with the intentions for the reading, so the reading can be more accurate. And sometimes your reads will be spitter spatter like that because you're trying to read a person whose thoughts are cluttered and all over the place. And sometimes those readings will not make sense. And you have to tell them, I don't know if the other readers have did this, you need to go take a spiritual bath and come back here. They need some work done before you even can read them.
Mm,
Okay? You get that sometime. You will get that sometime. Depending if they didn't hit a crack in the psychosis and they everywhere because they didn't follow this person, they just follow people. Anybody that if it's a lot of idolization going on in the spiritual community, because again you're following these people that everybody following, you think they had got the sauce. In reality, they don't got
mm-hmm.
the sauce. They teaching you a whole bunch of spirit. Nobody giving you giving you a foundation, because if they had the sauce, you would be sitting. You'll have a better foundation. You be running and doing everything
Right.
everywhere. You'll be
Girl,
following your
sit down.
ancestors. You won't be following no people. You'll be too busy following your ancestors. You would not be looking at people the same, because you will see how much people lie, how much they deceive themselves, and they are delusional, they egotistical. You will see that. See, that's why you can't get over here in hoodoo and be working with these spirits, because them spirits see right
Mm.
through you. And I really, these people that's so happy about putting people in pots and putting people in grounds and all this kind of stuff. I got to question them. What is the character work? Because you won't be too fast to do that if you understood, the magnitude of what you're doing, the repercussions of it.
That part.
Okay, you wouldn't be too quick to that. Don't want even be on your mind. You be coming up with something, getting the work done, but in a way to put people back in their place and not trying to mess up their whole life or unalive them. It ain't that serious. That we know what justice look like. Justice look like somebody that killed Trayvon Martin. That somebody need to put his ass in the pot and do some shit to him. You understand
Exactly.
me? That's when you work
Right,
somebody over.
right, right. I got a good example of that though. My neighbor, she just antagonizes everybody in the neighborhood. One day I got out of my car. I had parked in front of her car and I got out of my car to bring my bags and stuff in the house. And she came up to me and asked me, did I want her park? Well, she's kind of loopy anyway. But and she just goes around to everybody, bothering everybody in the neighborhood. So she came up to me and asked me, did I want her parking space? I said, what are you talking about? Why would I want your parking space? So, and I was already frustrated. So I ended up cussing this girl out so bad. It was horrible. I cussed her out. I told her, I said, I would drag you all up and down the street. Now I just went off on her. So I got back in my car. She opened up my car door and slammed my car door. I jumped out the car and I was about to, and I said, no, don't put your hands on her. So I said, go hit on about your business before I hurt you. So I came in the house and I put it in the freezer. Now I don't do dark work at all. I have never have. It's just not something that I do. But I just want her to leave. I wanted her to leave me alone. Just don't say nothing to me, and I won't say nothing to you. I cut a lemon, put some salt on it, wrote her name on a piece of parchment paper, and I tied it. And I put it in the freezer. 2 days later, why somebody hit her car door, then in her car door. But from that day until this one, she hadn't said a word to me, and
Okay.
that's
So
all
you
I
got
wanted. Just leave me alone.
okay. That's and see the worker work where you in alignment with it. I was hearing another story like that, and this girl was talking about her kind of same issue you had going on, but it was with her job. Work for her. Another person tried to do it, had the
Oh
opposite
wow!
effect. You know. So and she was wondering about that. I said, look, you cannot do this work if you are not in
Right,
alignment with it.
right, exactly.
So if it didn't work, it's having the opposite effect. Uh, Again, was you in alignment with that? Was you even supposed to be doing that work? Did that person even offend you like that, or is it you just trying to not get out of doing work and freeze your
Hmm.
supervisor? That again, it's gonna backfire on you
Right,
like that
right.
because that person ain't bother you. Again, being in alignment with your work, it's gonna have the reverse effect. But also, if you are in alignment with your work and you had again, you got some results with
Hmm.
it.
And I didn't even
You got
want,
some.
it wasn't a thing I didn't want, and
You don't have any control over that. That's what I was about to
mm,
say. Once you start that work, I have to tell you guys this. That's why you have to be careful and know what you're gonna do when you go to that table. When you gonna do what you gonna do. Know in your mind you gotta already accept the results of it. You have no control of how them spirits is gonna take care of them people once you do your work. Again, you don't know how it depends on the energy because how this works. I'm trying to find it in a way that you will understand that the way this work, if that person didn't have those spirits already around them and already wasn't sitting in that so-called energy, it wouldn't have had that intensity of an impact. Apparently that person has been going around doing that for so long
hmm.
that when somebody did direct the energy on that, it had a very powerful repercussions
Hmm.
behind it. Somebody done already told that person, stop doing that, stop doing it. And by the time they make it to you,
Hmm.
again, it just it just flies back. You would not have not been able to do that had the energy was not already there. I'm gonna say it
Hmm.
like that. Does that
Hmm.
make
It
sense?
did. It did. Perfect sense.
And see, you have that's why it's important too when you coming out here in hoodoo. Keep your mouth closed. Don't and then, I know you did what you had to do with your mouth and you had to cuss her out and all that kind of stuff. But in the future, being careful how you release this type of
Right.
energy because you don't want that type of
Right.
stuff on you. That's why you could just keep your mouth shut and take it to that altar. And then you did right to take her to that altar because you say I'm not gonna do that with
Hmm.
her no more.
Hmm.
You know. Begin take it to the altar because these people, you got to understand these forces inside people is trying to drain your energy. Stop looking at the people. It's the thing in there that's trying to
Hmm.
get you. That's the thing in there trying to provoke you. They them things love to see you react. They love to feed off your emotions. It's lush for them. They love it. Now I've been gang stalked by these things before through my family. Tripped me the fuck out. Thought I was in the twilight zone. There's definitely something going on with these
Hmm.
spirits, and they do have the ability to gang stalk you if you don't get yourself up off that frequency. That's why we start raising our frequency so we can stop, less likely to come in contact with stuff like that and start preserving our energy, keeping our mouth closed. When you start seeing this, you don't want to be around no
Hmm.
damn body. You start seeing these spirits in people. You don't want to be around folks no more because you see how these spirits is operating through these people. Okay, so you want to understand how these spirits work, and you looking at some of them in your family. Now, when this trauma touched the intergenerational trauma touched us, what trauma does is open you up to these type of spirits, because these are the type of spirits that commit the trauma against you, and they embedded in the bloodline. This is what are in our bloodline, some of us. Is this making sense? So that's why automatically when I get you over here, when we get in our community, that's automatic. You're gonna, I'm gonna beat that in your head, ancestral veneration, and heal your mind, because I know what you've been through, still going through. You see what they did to Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland. I can go on and on and on. Floyd, whatever the man is. Okay, you seen it on TV. They started torturing the shit out of
Mm-hmm.
you. Still keep you in PTSD. We got compound PTSD. Most of us got anxiety disorders. You think your brain gonna be right after that? No. Then you got family members that they it's on them. Most of them alcoholics, addicts, and all kind of stuff wrong with them. Abusers and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so you're gonna have that in your bloodline. So again, doing that healing, knowing what you seeing when you seeing people trying to uh what are they trying to do? Provoke you and drain your energy. You got some people that just like to see you mad, they get off on that. They don't feel nothing until they can get a reaction out of you. And we got to get out of reaction mode and into response mode. Regulating our emotions, say, okay, I know what you is. I got you. Got you at that altar. I'm not gonna even play
Mm-hmm.
with you. I've warned you. You probably have been warned. But I'm not gonna play that game with you. I'm gonna take you straight. I'm gonna do some, and all the time you won't need to do no real work on people. Sometimes depending, because I have got ready to do work on somebody, and the ancestor said, "Don't do that. I need you to pray for these people, because these people got their life. Their life is ragged. They need help. They need your help. They don't need you doing nothing to them." It builds your character. You remember what if you went through the same thing. Don't go there. You need a prayer during that time. And they going through the same thing. Sometimes the ancestors show you what somebody got going on, not so you can hurt them in any kind of way, but to help them. They need prayer. And then you'll notice after you say that prayer for them, they'll start having breakthroughs. And when they have breakthroughs, you do too. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Knowing this is real work, okay? Because these spirits see you, they can see right through you. These spirits can see right through you. So again, doing that real work, and again, you'll understand this because I'm gonna break it down each time we go through something. Read a book or whatever. I'm gonna break the book all the way down as a lecture and give you my insights on it. You can take that or leave that. But I've been in here in quite a while, and I've been fighting demons in my family for a long
Mm-hmm.
damn time. And I know how they look. I know how when the thing is talking, when the disease and the trauma is talking, and I know when that's my family member. They tend to go in and out of people. That's the way I see it. I don't know, that's been my experience. I've seen that thing. I ain't know these people from a can of paint, but yet they was talking and acting just like my family, my toxic
I got a
ass family.
question.
These things have followed me into another town. Go
I
ahead,
got a
Tina.
question about the floor washer. Can since I got carpet, can I use that like on my carpets and not just on like the wood floors or the laminated floors? Or do I need to use
Mm,
powders?
I would probably use a
Powders.
powder
Yeah.
since you got a
Yeah.
carpet. And kind of be led by that, whatever you thinks that works, because that's again, we have to be creative in some of our stuff that we do. So yeah, I would probably use a powder, and then like if I shampoo it, I would make sure I put some type of spiritual spin to it when you
Right.
shampoo it.
Okay.
If you shampoo your carpet. Okay, I would do it that way because you can always put some make some root tea or something like that, or some chamomile tea. Brew it and then put it in the steam and wash it that way. I mean, it's just a variety of ways where you can get work done. You can be as creative as
Okay.
you want to, Tina. Whatever
All
works
right.
for you. Okay. This most thing be led by your ancestors. So a lot again, this is how these spirits gonna be working. Y'all are gonna be working through people. Another thing you can do to keep your mind clear, because they'll get in your mind too. Start your day with Psalms 91, Psalms 27, Psalms 23. Protect your mind and your spirit. Don't just wash your body. Again, cleanse your mind, because these scriptures will move some of this stuff in your mind and invoke protection around your mind and your spirit. That's why we read some of that. We read. That's why reading. That's why we do a lot of reading out there. That's why we do shadow work, because again, some of us have repeating thought forms in the disguise of false beliefs, all this stuff that we have to purge out in order to transcend and shift, so we can get into a higher frequency to practice magic. Did what I say, did it make
Yeah.
sense?
Mhm.
It, okay. Sometimes, and I realize, I'm gonna tell my story, because I was raggedy. I can talk about myself. Okay, I was raggedy as hell, and I didn't realize how my mind was all messed up until I started again healing on my mind. And I started to realize one day, and just paying attention to my thoughts. I didn't judge them, but they just come through. I said, your mind is just on default bullshit. Ain't that something? I mean, you, no wonder you feel like you do, because look at you. My mind was on default. It was just doing some of everything, just letting some of everything go through it. I said, that's a damn shame. And so I had to slow myself down. Again, start doing affirmations and reprogramming my mind. And those affirmations will definitely help you do it. Saying those Bible verses will help you do it, because your train of thought, your thought patterns, and things that run through your mind will change. And when that changes, you're raising your frequency, and you're attracting all these other beautiful energies instead of these lower frequencies. They're all in the afters everywhere. And again, your energy, the way your mind function, because your mind is always emitting a frequency. It's a broadcaster. Okay. So if you are always think about negativity, what you think you're gonna draw? You're gonna draw all them negative vibrations. And I love talking about demonology, because you can't talk about demonology without talking about psychology. This is someone who has entertained a lot of negativity, who's made it easy for these type of spirits to inhabit them. They are totally infected. Am I making sense to you? This is why I tell you, get your mind together, and then you got some people, they got this going on, they jump over here and start touching stuff, and then they have a spiritual psychosis, and now they scared, now they got to run back to church, because they not ready to deal with the dark. And some of that stuff be us. I know there's two sides of me. I know there's two sides of me. I know one there's a side of me that's a psychopath. I wouldn't say no, a psychopath, but a homicidal. I would say something like that. That's homicidal. If you put your hands on me, I'll take you out. But wasn't that like our own ancestors? Again, the more you learn about your psychology and know when to use that shadow part, it's powerful. And knowing yourself, it's gonna help you know people. And again, being able to look at that the shadow parts of yourself and say, "Hey, I got that in me." If I didn't have that in me, I wouldn't be standing here today. Our ancestors had to have that dark side of them. You could see that kind of too when you look at Haiti. They had to deal with those petro spirits, those hot spirits. Got right in there and started the revolution. Was chopping off heads. So they are necessary at some point. You understand me? But knowing when to use them. We all have that in us, just like we got all these good attributes in us, but we have to learn how to balance the energy and when to call it out when it's needed. Am I making sense to you? Okay, so they got you thinking. A lot of people got you thinking, ooh, the ooh stuff ain't nothing but the manifestation of what is going on the astral mental plane. It just manifested in our physical reality so we can see it. Okay, depending on the on the energy and what's present there. So again, when you start seeing these spirits, you're gonna see them in personalities. See them, especially when you start understanding addiction.
Mm.
You start understanding addiction and alcoholism, uh, because the disease of alcoholism, you got to ask what that is in there with these people, because it brings so many other spirits in there with it. Understand me? When people is under, it depends on, my study on that. When people are under the influence of alcohol, especially at these bars and clubs, and a lot of these spirits hang out there. These spirits can jump in people's bodies and drive them like cars. That's why you have people got blackouts. They don't remember what the hell happened. That's why they call it spirits. Okay. So again, the more aware you become of this, the better you're going to protect yourself. So again, doing that cleansing, doing what you need to do to keep yourself cleansed, even at work. I think it's harder to do when you have to go into work and work with somebody, because most of these people on these jobs is crazy as hell. You see a lot of spirits at your job. We running in these people's houses, and it be so much. So making sure you keep yourself together at your job. Okay, you might have to separate some of your folks, because you're gonna start seeing these spirits operate through people, and it's not gonna feel good to you. You probably want to keep you a spray bottle of Florida water on you, or some type of black stone or something like that to protect your energy. I had a lot of nurses coming to me at one time because they were recommended to start going to some of these places to get stones. I was selling so many black stones, tourmaline, obsidian, hematite, smoky quartz. I was selling so many stones to these women because their supervisors, employees was telling them they needed to protect themselves on that floor with all these diseases, because now they realize these diseases are spirits. Well, you knew that. You see what I'm saying? They know that. That's why I break down that intergenerational trauma to you. These people know there's spirits in there, because y'all the one put the crack in the lineage like that. Y'all had the spirits and then put them in our lineage like that with that trauma. That's what happens. That's why you see abusers become abusers, because what happens? They put a crack in the trauma, they put a crack in them, and then that spirit can come in and start inhabiting these people and torturing these people. That's what trauma does. I'm just talking about it on a spiritual level. I knew I was watching one show. I think it was a crime show, and the woman mother had was unalive. Somebody went in and unalived her. I think she was about 3 or 4, but somebody unalived her mama. 30 years later, the same thing happened to her, and her son survived her. That's when her daddy said this is crazy, because her mom died the same way 30 years ago. Sometimes with trauma repeat like that, it won't even but it's the spirit, it's that thing in that family. Okay, it won't make any sense, but once that they get in there like that, they'll try to stay in there like that. And little did they, I don't know how aware they was, but again, it was that thing in that family, after those women in that family. And I mean, occurred, the death was damn near identical the way they passed away. And if you go look at some of your family genetics and you look at some of the trauma in there, you'll see some recurring themes in there with people. Recurring alcoholics, recurring addictions, recurring people going to the penitentiary, recurring abuse. You'll see some recurring stuff in there. Recurring abandonment, recurring. You're gonna see that. You be like, damn, this shit in my family. Yes, in your family. Hey, Yellow. Hello, all our YouTube family here, our Patreon family here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, we're breaking down cleansing and understanding it, not just for our body, but for our mind too. So really look at beloved, look at how you thinking. If you're not able to shift into a higher frequency and tap into your magic, we go right into working with angels to help you do that. Because when you start working with angels, I've talked about this a little bit, they will shift your consciousness. That's why we have you working with angels. Okay, and you'll feel a difference in that. Um, You'll feel a difference in that because you'll start have more creativity. You'll have more inspiration. You'll probably pick up some type of art, maybe writing. You'll probably be getting more downloads. You're gonna feel you again. You're gonna feel a shift, okay, in your thinking, and it's very subtle because again, this is how these spirits communicate with you. And see, nobody has been telling us that. That's why looking at these personalities and you see a lot of them now on social media. They're putting on. I see a lot of them now that they got on costumes. Ain't nothing going on with them but a costume. Ain't nothing going on with them but some fancy fast talk words. Just saw little young people, and I talked about this too. We got these young people being initiated in these ATRs, and I don't recommend it. Who can you lead? How you gonna get somebody initiated and you ain't got no experience and wisdom? Your frontal lobe ain't even developed. Some of them ain't even 30 years
Mm.
old yet, and trying to tell other folks what to do with their spirit. You ain't even got no wisdom. No, no. I don't care what you know. If you ain't got no wisdom and experience, have a seat. You need to be somewhere trying to get your personal relationship right with those Orishas, not around here trying to initiate, get somebody initiated. Again, doing all that converting stuff like the Christians do. You need to have a seat and stop telling people what they're doing in their practice. I mean, you got so many, they're doing it for a title. And just because they get in that, I have to say that just because that they get in initiated, it don't fix their life because a lot of them don't have a personal relationship with these spirits. It's just a religion to them. It's just a branding. And they are using that to dupe people. If you don't see that, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, you can see it, and the more you work on yourself, and the more you see, you know the real from the fake. You're gonna be able to discern it because you know what you got to do to get to the other side, and you gonna be able to see and discern when I'm with somebody. Nah, that you're gonna be able to like, nah, that ain't what that is, because you doing the work and you know what it takes. Okay, you doing the libations, you're doing the cleansing work, you're seeing the results. And some of you ain't touched no magic yet. You just working them ancestors and you seeing a difference in your life. Okay, so be careful out here with these personalities, and I tell you, when you start doing this cleansing work and doing this work, you might start again because your awareness is coming, becoming more and more clear. Okay, and you can see more things. Don't be surprised when you start seeing this in your family members or when you start seeing some of these personalities in yourself. Okay, especially with family members. 'Cause you got some family members they are not they're not well meaning at all. We shouldn't even we've been trying with them in the name of love. And them folks they ain't been doing nothing but hurting us every time. So you just stop it. That's not your family member. That person, Mr. Smith is inside that person. I'm gonna put it to you simple like that. Something else is going on with that person. The trauma got your family member like that. You can't do nothing but pray for them folks and take care of your energy and make sure you ain't feeding that thing inside them. Okay, you can't tell me there ain't no thing. I just seen it. Okay. I done seen it in people, and I done seen that thing try to get through other people, through their friends and everything else. These things are jumped in through your friends. You think you married, and you come to find out that same spirit is in your mama, that's in your husband. Same spirit trying to get to you and ruin your life. I'm telling you, these things are very clever. These things are very, very clever. Okay, so doing that cleansing work and understanding your mind, and understanding again, because with shadow work you learn so much about psychology and about yourself. By the time if you did need to go to a therapist, you know you're gonna damn near know more than them. You'll know how to pick out the therapist that you need because you'll know what's going on with you. You'll be choosing someone who's experienced in your experience that you're having. You understand me? So, especially if you got my book, Know Thyself, because we kind of break that down. We go through that shadow work thing, but we're going through it now in our program, hands on over there in that membership. But again, these spirits they work through people. Okay, so keep in your mind, you got some inspirational reading that you need to do that. Keep your home protected. Does anybody have any questions? Because I don't want to go on, because I don't know what you want
Well,
to know. And y'all say y'all want to talk about this book,
Okay,
so
yeah.
we
uh,
here.
I would say back to the. I always.
blacks. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, well,
No.
I would say back to the stones. I always carry the selenite with me, one, and I always carried the rose quartz. I use
Mhm.
that a lot. That helped me a lot with. I
Oh
carried it for you,
yeah,
like
yeah,
self
yeah.
love. That's good people who don't care for themselves, So that promotes self love because I had low
Mhm.
self esteem at one point, But that helped me love myself. And people are like, why are you always
Mhm.
such a good mood? Because I love myself. I love life. Why should I, be
Mhm.
down even though I have problems? But I'm just loving life. I love life no matter what goes on. I mean, things gonna happen in life, but you have to learn how to go on with what life, just you'll live this life, so I'm gonna enjoy this life that I have. Just I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I know
enjoy it.
yeah.
that's right.
I'm gonna laugh and there's gonna be some crying sometimes, but
Mhm.
hey, this is what life is about. You just gotta keep on moving. I'm always an
Mhm.
optimist person in the room. I'm like, we're gonna make it work. My
Mhm.
car break down, I'm
Shift.
gonna get over it.
Yeah,
I'm
shift.
gonna make it
Mhm.
work. It's gonna work out. And then, and some people are not like that. They're like, why are you always, always laughing and
No.
giving up? Why? You can't. If it's something's wrong, what are you gonna do? You gonna fix it? And you gonna keep
Right,
moving. That's
right.
me. I'm the one. We're gonna find a solution, and we're gonna go on about our business. That's me. But I like to carry those
Mhm.
stones with me.
That's the
That's the
way
way
to
to be.
be. And it but you know what? It took me a while to get to that point, honey. Think it's my neurodivergent mind and a little bit of
Hmm.
autism. But I'm better at it now. But I always have to pray to the pray about it. Please change my mind, God. Show me, show me, show me, show me, show me, show. Cause God, please
Yeah,
help
it's
my
hard
mind.
because I have three children like that.
Please
Yeah,
shift
it's
my
hard
mind.
talking to people
Yeah.
like that. 'Cause they don't. It's hard working with
Mhm.
clients because I'm a mental health therapist. They don't see no way in because that depression, that spirit of depression, has hit them. It's hard. They
Mhm.
just don't see it.
It.
And I said, I've been there
Mhm.
Yeah.
before.
And
Yeah.
sometimes you have to get. Sometimes you got to. I'm better now at it. I'm a lot better now at it. But when starting on this journey and doing the shadow work, honey, you don't know how many days I cried and looked at myself and said, "Look at you." Look at you, girl. If you don't need somebody's prayer, if you don't need some compassion and mercy, you need to keep your mouth on off other people. Look at you. Look at you. And I just cried. So ancestors, they's like, we know you messed up. We love you
Yes, and that's what
anyway. We
yeah,
know, we know, we know, we know. You-
and that's what you said in your book review. You said in your lecture,
And
and
so
that
again,
you said you can make the stones. People sleep on the stones a
hmm
lot. That they don't use them like a lot of people don't use them like they should use them more often. And I always
hmm
lie on the stones
hmm
to. I have a lot of them. I have different ones that I use for different things, and I keep them
hmm
charged up, and I carry them with me all the time. A lot, different ones for different
hmm
things, and I just
hmm
love my stones.
Have your armor of God on you now. You gotta have the whole armor of God when you go out that door, honey. Ooh, sometimes, honey, my purse used to be full of stuff. I'd be like, that damn girl, that's too much. Sometimes I'd be wanting to take the Florida water and spray people like roaches.
So
Like,
you
shit.
needed it all.
Get your ass away from here. Just spray. Get your ass. Like when you see a roach, you just want to spray the shit out of it. Sometimes I want to do people like that sometimes. Get your ass somewhere and sit there. You got all that stuff you got over you. You come over here with that. Get over there. Sometimes you want to do that with folks. And you go out and look at the world, honey. You just want to put that stuff, spray that Florida water on everybody you come in contact with
Hmm.
sometimes.
Mm-mm-mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, I used to.
When you look, I mean,
I
when
used
you,
to sleep with a rose quartz in my bonnet. I did. I did for a whole week. But you know what? I used to have good dreams too. And behind that, I did. That's when I started having
mm-hmm,
those dreams about the one that I told you about us sitting, me and my daughter and my grandbaby that I don't have.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, I was like, so I stopped sleeping with it in there after a while because I was like I started having some dreams that I didn't like. So, but
Yeah.
what was I going to say to you? What was I going to say?
It probably sound like it needed to be it
Yeah,
needed to
that
be
could be it.
cleansed.
But I got an obsidian. I got an obsidian tower, and I'm scared to take it in the bedroom now because I don't know. I know that it draws a lot of negativity out, and people say you're not supposed to have an obsidian in your bedroom. I'm like, but why not? Just
Who
people
told
that
you?
have
I guess because
that
it's
had
working
the
as a
stone.
mirror. They're using it as a mirror. It is some people use that as a scribe mirror.
Um,
They have obsidian mirrors they use in the occult, where those spirits can come through the obsidian and talk to the practitioner. So you have some people that have we kind of talked about that through one of our books, especially in the conjure part, because teaching some people how to conjure and how to scribe with mirrors. So we talked about that a little bit. So I can understand from their perspective of why they are saying that. But my thing is, as long as you smudging it and you programmed it, it shouldn't be nothing coming like that coming through there. That's just my take on it. Okay. But if you feeling like you don't want to take it in there, sometimes a lot of these people that's making, we have to be careful of who we listening to, and then too making sure that we understand the science of our own work. We only got to make sense to you,
because I want to take
okay?
it in there.
And that probably
I
makes
do. I
sense
want to
to
take it in
them.
there.
Okay, I would smudge it out if you done programmed it and told it what it's supposed to do and put your intentions in there. That
Okay.
stone gonna do that. It's gonna do it. Okay, you get a chance to run that. They probably program that. You can also program your obsidian to be a mirror and let other spirits speak through it. But that again, that's another topic. When conjure, when you communicate with spirits through mirrors or water
Okay.
or something. So that's another topic. But we did discuss that. We have talked about that on our platform. Okay, so don't be scared. People, they love, a lot of people is pumping fear out there. And see, I have to look at the person that's
Mm.
pumping fear. Because why are you doing
Mhm.
that? We in enough damn fear as it is. We got to be running from this president, ICE, the National Guard. Hey, your
The
devil, your
police.
demon. I mean, it's just y'all. You hear me? It's just going on. Oh, we got enough of that. So why would y'all come out here? And
Yeah.
people tend to love that type of stuff. They gravitate towards that craziness like that. I don't want to be around them
Mhm.
people. Cause see that they life is all about moving in fear, and that's no, we don't do that over here. We deal with power over here. We deal with positivity over here. I don't want that in my sphere. No, and I don't like the fact that that's your marketing curve. Some people that's their marketing curve. They love that. They marketing curve is curses, is and hexes and all that stuff, and people love that. I have to ask you why you love that. I have kind of had someone come to me, and I had to stop seeing her. Ancestor told me stop seeing her. She was determined to be cursed. She did not want to do the work that I was giving her. Every time I gave her some work, she did not
Mm.
want to do it. She was determined that this curse could not be broken. I mean, and then when she talked to me, the only thing she talked about was her sickness and this curse. And then when I asked her about doing the work, oh no, I can't do that. It ain't gonna work. I know it ain't gonna work. And said, stop talking to her. Don't see her another time. She don't she gets attention out there. She like being
Mm.
like that.
Yeah, because if she really wanted it gone, it'll be gone. She'll get rid of it. I don't like stuff hanging on me. Mm-hmm. No.
I let that go. I had to release her and then kind of refer her to someone else that will probably help her. But I know any practitioner is gonna work with her. They're gonna have her doing some
Mm.
work. They can't do it by themselves. Again, when a person they're gonna have to participate in the workings too. And that's just been my experience. But you get some people like that, okay? And I wouldn't recommend. If they got that going on with them, don't fool with them. And it's people go out there, they seek out practitioners. Ain't nothing wrong with them, but they just need to get up and fix their life. But they really, they going around thinking they Hicks, and really they self
Mm.
sabotage. They don't want to fix their life. You got some people like that, you know. It You'll see them. I know you saying, Miss Penny, that's odd. Wait till you meet one. Wait till you have to deal with
Mm.
one. You be like, damn, Miss Penny one line. Hey, Antoinette Williams. Yeah. Fear is a thing that's getting that's being used a lot, or enemies. Somebody doing you like this and somebody doing you like that. Say this and 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 this that. It's a lot of it just seemed like a lot of aggressive magic being portrayed.
Yeah.
Did that make sense? It seems like it's a lot aggressive magic, and it really that's not what this is over here. You shouldn't have to do that. Okay. Yeah, you got some people out there that's crazy. They're your enemies and all that other stuff. That's why we stay prayed up. That's why we say Psalms 91. That is why we keep ourselves clean so we don't let that stuff touch us. We keep our mouth closed and don't engage with people that's trying to provoke us and manipulate our energy. When you start looking like that, people, again, what they call it on TikTok when somebody talks about some controversial, they call it rage
Mm.
bait. Some people love
Mm-hmm.
rage baiting.
Say it.
They love rage baiting. They love going back and forth. They love that's the thing. That's how a lot of our minds work. And we like, some of us, we need help. We don't even realize, that we sick. You don't know your mind's sick until you start trying to heal it and you seeing what the thoughts that start going through it. And you be like, oh my God, where did I get that damn thing from? Who told me
Mm-hmm.
that? Why am I thinking that? That is crazy that I think that. And some of us don't have any self awareness. Okay. I'm not gonna say, honey, I know that I'm not perfect. So when I know I'm out of line, honey, I will ask for forgiveness for a minute and try to amend the situation because I know I'm not perfect. That's the first thing I'm trying to do to get the situation right. I'm gonna own my part. I'm gonna make an amends. We're not gonna. I'll try again to handle it as lovingly as possible. I don't even want to go to that level where we hollering or going back and forth with each other. Before we do that, I just say, okay, you right. Shit, have it.
Just to be done with it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that with you. Not gonna do that with you. You can have that if that's what you want to believe. If that's what I can't do nothing about that. But surely you already told you that what my intentions. That's not what's going on. But if that's what you want to believe, okay. You gotta let people have it. But what do you want? Do you want a peace or do you want to be right?
Mm.
What's more important, peace or being right? In some instances, with people, you have to make that choice. And I'm gonna choose peace every damn time. It's just
Right.
better for me. Cause later on down the road, I know you're gonna see. Uh, you gonna get to experience yourself. I ain't got to be right about nothing. I let you go out there. Who am I to stop you from making a mistake? I'm not your God. Everybody got a right to their mistake. You got a right to mess up your life if that's what you want to
Right.
do. That's your life.
And I used to try to keep my children from going down the wrong path and keep them from making mistakes. And then it was like, why you stopping them? Didn't nobody stop you?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let them do it. Let them do it. My sister, with my nephew who was a baby, he was messing with her. See, my daughter tried that with me, and I broke her ass real quick about doing that. But he would go to the edge of the bed and he would act like he gonna jump. I think he was like maybe 6, 7 months, but he act like he was gonna fall off the edge. And then when she would run, he would start laughing.
Mm.
He would start laughing. He kept messing with her like he was gonna fall off the bed, like he was gonna jump off the bed. She run over there and run up. Oh, he gonna run? I said, no, he ain't gonna run. He playing with you, girl. I said, stop running towards him. Let him hit that flow. He
Yep.
ain't gonna kill him. He gonna know. He gonna stop that
For
playing. I
real.
tell you that. He gonna stop that. You gonna learn real quick. This ain't the game I want to play because I ain't gonna win this game. No, you ain't. And honey, I said don't. She got ready to run. I said don't run. And see, he was looking forward her to catching him. He hit that flow. He didn't do that no more.
That's what happens. See?
Okay. It's like our ancestor said, you don't believe fat mean it's greasy. You're gonna find out. You don't think it's hot in that
Mm,
kitchen. Keep touching that stove, it's gonna burn you. You're gonna get burnt. Then you find out, it burnt. Then we tell you it burns. But had you not hit that flow or touched that fire, you never had that experience. Now you know you ain't
right.
gonna do that no more, is you? Sometimes you just got children that learn the hard way. I was that child too. I gotta say that I learned the hard way a lot of times. But I bet you what, hell, I ain't gotta learn it no more. I got lots of experience and wisdom out of all them
Yeah.
damn mistakes.
Wait, what was that? They
You
said
know.
learned sense is better than told sense. Yeah.
Did you hear me? When you learn something, can't nobody tell you nothing because you got the experience. You got the experience. Can't nobody tell you that because you already know what's gonna happen and how that pans out when you do that because you have the life experience. Nothing beats life experience. It helps you gain wisdom
Mhm.
in this world. Okay, then you can pass that on to your children. Some of them want it, some of them don't want it. And sometimes you just gotta let them make mistakes. I've seen that with my own children. I said, okay, you go on and do it. And then they come back to me and say, Mama, such and such happened. I said, didn't I tell you it's gonna happen? They said, yeah, you said that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
You said it's gonna happen. And I don't beat them in their head, yeah, because I know they're gonna come back and tell me exactly what I said, because that's what's gonna happen. They already see it happening. They're gonna come back and tell you. They're gonna come back
Amen.
and tell you about the experience. They're gonna again confirm what you done already told them. Oh, Sean, you mean I got you coming up in two separate places? Or are these two separate people? I got you coming up in two separate places. I don't know if you're in a laptop or what. But again, honey, you know, who is this in here that is really really peculiar
Oh,
to
okay,
me?
there we go.
Okay, now it makes sense. Okay. So again, you got to let people make their mistakes, and I had to learn hands off. I couldn't fix anybody. I used to have a problem with trying to help everybody, and then be upset when they don't show up for me. Trying to fix everybody when really I need to be fixing myself. I had a
Mm,
codependent problem. I had abandonment issues. Okay, we again with some of this stuff that we're doing out of our own wounds.
yeah.
Some of the issues, when we start looking at some of the issues that we have, we're doing them out of our own wounds, and you'll start seeing it once you start looking at okay how you're thinking and the energy that you are wasting with people. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we even talk about that here in this book. We talk about narcissistic personality disorder. We talk about sociopathic disorders in this book. It's all in this book. Everything I just mentioned is in this book. It's something I trip myself out because I don't realize how much I know until I start reading this stuff. Uh, and then I'd be like, oh, thank God for the ancestors, because honey, they gave me this knowledge. I ain't even have to look in this book. But now that we have this book, it kind of confirmed what the spirit, the ancestors, been telling me, and that's what we're dealing with when we deal with these disorders. And that's what the shamans knew. They had to go in there and do soul retrieval for them people that had this type of trauma and try to make them whole again. Because a lot of people they run around here with cracks in their souls, and y'all know we talked a bit about this the other day. What somebody say? Some of these people seem like they
Hmm.
NPCs. It's some people say, I didn't know this until somebody said, I just under the impression that everybody had an internal dialogue. But I had somebody say they don't have that. They don't hear nothing. I said, what the fuck? That's scary, you guys. That's
What you mean by
scary.
internal dialogue? What you? They don't have internal dialogue.
You know, like like when you talk
Yes.
to yourself, you have a conscience say, "No, you
Some
don't
people
need to
don't
do that.
have that.
You don't need to do that. You need to go over here." Some people don't have that. Not everybody. I thought it too, but that everybody don't have that.
Oh.
Antoinette said, "When my children, when they find out, I ask them so that what did it tell you?" I say the same thing, Antoinette. I say the same thing, Antoinette said when her children had make mistakes and they come back to her and tell her, and she asked them, "What did it tell you?" I always ask my children, "What you learn and what you learn behind that?" I know that was awful and everything, but baby, what did you learn? What did you learn behind? I listened to what I learned. I shouldn't, and you was right, and I learned I ain't gonna do that no more. And I'm like, okay, well, good then. Don't be so mad at the at what happened. It taught you something. You ain't gonna do that shit no more, is you? So listen, don't focus too much. I know you mad and all that other stuff, but what did you learn? Because hey, my mission here is to see if you got anything out of there. As your mother now, as an adult, my thing, I parent you now so you can gain some wisdom behind your mistakes. I can't do nothing about it but help you see what did you learn in it. That's all I can do as a parent now that you're grown, and share my experience with you, to make it to help you ease the pain, which is let you know I bumped my head too. That's why I told you that. Okay, this is why I put myself on an energy budget. I know how much I want to invest or spend on other people unresolved issues, and that's how you have to be with people. You have to be with people. I don't want to hear nobody's stuff. I just don't got time. And then once you start doing your shadow work and ancestors work and working with your spirits, and your life is right and in alignment, and you know everything you do, taking
Mm,
care of yourself, making sure you protected all that. You don't have time to listen to nobody else stuff. I just don't got time to. I got to do rituals of self care. It's you. It takes so much to take care of yourself. You ain't got time to be listening to nobody else's stuff. You too prayed up. Hey, you don't got time to listen to nobody else's stuff because just taking care of yourself is enough. You ain't got time to worry about
I'm
nobody else's
telling you.
problem. And when you do, you're gonna be limited in how much time you spend with them because you need you more than
Yeah.
anybody else
I had
needs you.
another friend to
That's the
get rid of
truth.
themselves because of that very issue right there. I mean,
Hmm.
I was like, dang, what happened? I mean, are we not friends no more and stuff like that? She won't even answer me. She got rid of herself. I was like, okay, moving on.
When you're not pouring into them no more, reciprocation is paramount. A lot of us are caretakers. A lot of us are just, we don't understand the the value of our energy, and some of us so willingly give it
Mm,
away.
I had been.
And so, and you got to ask yourself, why are you doing it? And usually it's something with our childhood our parents didn't give us. We were trying to prove that we're lovable. It's something going on with us, and those things are important because those spirits see that,
I just thought that
and they can take
I just
advantage of
thought that
us.
she was my friend. I'm just
Hmm.
trying to be there for her. So
Hmm.
yeah.
So, and they take advantage, and when they can't feed off you no more, they'll take out they self. When you're not pouring into them no more,
Yeah.
they'll leave.
That's what happened.
They'll leave. Thank you. I don't think I said thank you, ancestors, for
That's
keeping me
yeah.
protected. You do things for me I can't do for myself. You gotta look at it like that, and that's what happens on this journey. This journey will get lonely. It feels isolated, but I tell you, what you need to pay attention to at this time is your discernment get better and better, and your intuition gets better and better. You're gonna be more sensitive. You're gonna see thoughts coming off people, and know, no, hey, that ain't for me. You're gonna be able to psychologically
Mm-hmm.
assess people. I find myself psychologically assessing people through their conversation, what they're saying. I'm totally psychologically examining you. Even in our
Mm-hmm.
meetings, that we have, I am diagnosis and psychologically examining y'all when y'all talking. I know exactly what's going on with you. I know exactly what you need. but I got to let you get to that point where
Right.
you see it. Okay, I already see I already see the pain there. I already see the work that you got in here to you. I see you. Okay, I see you. There's something I can say. I see you. I see the beautiful souls that you are. I see again the work you have to do. Okay, so don't think that I'm not paying attention when I'm listening to you. I'm listening very well. Okay, I'm listening very well. Again, and you'll do the same thing once you start doing the shadow work and heal yourself, and you see what's going on with you. You'll start seeing some of these things that you spelled out of you in other people. You will know it when you see it, just by the things that they say in their demeanor. You'll be able to size it up really quick.
Mhm.
Okay. Because again, you're gonna use this experience because you got wisdom in you. You got experience. Too much has happened to us for us to not to grab out medicine and wisdom in ourselves.
True.
We didn't make it. We didn't come here for nothing. We didn't go through that thing for nothing. It's medicine. Okay. A lot of us have some crazy experience, but we still standing here, and we have the medicine to help people to get on the other side if they need us and they have that issue. Some of us. Okay, so you didn't go through that thing for nothing. It may have been a horrible thing that happened to you, and it's somebody else. It's a child, somebody else. It's somebody else that's standing around that needs your medicine that you're gonna have to pour into and help them shift.
Mhm.
And sometimes that happens when you open your mouth and start telling your story. A lot of y'all, we experienced that in our last meeting. I'm not gonna get much into that, but again, I'm just showing you the experience and the wisdom that you already have inside you. You're not gonna see it until you start healing and start doing your work. And that's the first thing. I'm just happy for a lot of you because a lot of you have already started doing the work, doing the ancestors' work, focused on the spiritual bath. And it takes again, hoodoo is a way of life. And for me, it took about a year for me to integrate it totally into my life. Getting up with prayer, getting up with libations, having my psalms that I say, doing my writing. Again, it's just basically look at it as a self
Yeah.
care regimen because you want taking care of yourself at
Mhm.
first. And now you got to slow down and take care of yourself and put yourself before anything. Because if you don't, you already know how it's gonna leave you all raggedy and stuff. Now you loving on yourself and taking care of yourself for the first time in your life, and you using your spirituality to do it. Okay. So I'm gonna help you look at because that's why you hear me say, take care of yourself, love on yourself. Hey, 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 put spirit. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. Love on yourself, take care of yourself, be very
Right.
gentle with yourself. Cause we was in survival mode, huh? Them people was treating us like we was warriors. We taking care of folks' children, going to the store, paying our parents' bills, doing all
Ooh,
sorts of stuff at a very young age.
man. Yeah.
Okay, so again, loving on yourself. That's why to have fun with those spiritual baths, make it luxurious, baby. Take some wine in there, whatever. Make it, hey,
Light some candles.
you light some candles, put some rose in there. It's about you because the more you can do that, the higher you can raise your frequency. Because we need to get like that about ourselves. Yeah, you got some things to fix about you, but how did you get like that? Because somebody didn't know how to love you. You didn't know how to
True.
love yourself. And again, we can't really blame um our parents, our loved ones, because they can't give you something nobody gave to them. Somebody didn't give that to them. I look at my children now. I want to love them deeper. Some areas I feel like I don't know how to love them. And so I tell them all the time, baby, if I don't give you love you the way you need to be loved, please give that to yourself. Because I can only love you from the best of my ability. That's the only thing we can do. People is not gonna love us the way we want to be loved. They see your mama, your dad, they even if they did love you, they ain't gonna love you the way you want to be loved. So you have to do that.
It's funny that you said that. Oh my goodness. I was talking to my husband and I told him, I said, you know what? I was looking for help I said I was always calling on God for help. I said then I was calling on Yahusha for help. And I moved over to Hebrew, the Hebrew religion or whatever. And then I said now I'm calling on my ancestors for help. I said, but when the help come, it ain't the help that I want. I don't accept that. But why didn't it come the way that I wanted it to come? I don't want that type of help. I want this kind of help. And I'm like, but they are helping. So how I'm gonna tell the ones that's helping me how to
Mhm.
help me?
Yeah. They helping you from the best of their ability. And that's something too when you working with them angels, you gotta be specific. Don't ask them for
Um,
help, girl. You gonna tell
exactly.
them
That's what
what
I
you
said.
go
I was
yeah.
like, baby, I
You
wasn't
don't tell them
specific enough.
you gotta be specific when you working with them angels, with any spirit. You have to be very specific. Cause you tell them you want a car, honey, you might be mailed a toy car. You understand me? So you better be you better be specific on what you want. Cause honey, they trip you up. Be like, this ain't what the hell I asked for. But yes, you
One of the
did. You
car.
said you wanted a car. We gave you a
You
car.
wasn't you
Gave you
wasn't
a car.
specific.
So you better be specific with that.
Like you gotta tell your price range
You
you
better
want,
be.
don't want to go over, what
Uh
color
huh.
you want, whether it's a car, SUV.
Mhm.
You gotta give all of that information.
Mhm. You got to be specific. That's why another example I like when people first start working with angels, and some of them don't believe angels are real. They are very real. It's just a trip when you start seeing them move and show up in your life. But I like working with the parking lot angels because and I'm very specific, and it's just very simple. Because I would before I go to the store, I said, angels, before I get there, I want a parking spot in the front. In the front. I don't want to park all the way back there. So I want to park in the front. Please have me a parking spot in the front when I get to the store. And usually when I get there, somebody is just backing out of a parking spot that's just in the front, or people that kept passing this parking spot, and the angels have kept it there for me, and I swoop right on in there. It works
Wow,
every
okay.
time.
See, I didn't know that you can
It works
command them
every
like
time.
that. I always thought you had to just,
Yeah.
you know,
It's angels everywhere. I mean, you got the parking lot angels, you got angels over the hours. I mean, they are everywhere, a standing guard. Everywhere. You'd be surprised where you see them. You got
mm,
angels that's in the police department. You got angels that's in the fire department. I mean, they're everywhere. Those dominions, principalities, virtues. I could just go on and on. Those thrones, again, they're everywhere because that's their job. Okay, is to protect and then keep energy shifting on a high frequency. You're always coming in contact with them, but because we most of us don't think on a high frequency, we can't feel them there.
mm,
And see, they operate on a higher frequency, and that's why we follow the rituals in our group like that to help you start being able to meet them and work with them.
mm-hmm,
Okay, and then and when you work with them, what I like about about the angels, working with them, they leave you with more high more positive thoughts. Your mind will start thinking more positive after coming. The more you come in contact with them, the stronger your mind get. The more positive, the longer you can hold
mm,
positive
mm-hmm,
thoughts. The more positive thoughts you'll have. And you'll just look up and say, "Oh, why am I thinking this? Oh, I'm thinking so positive." But it works on a subtle level, and that's one reason why we give you the rituals with the angels. We start, sharing that information with you to help you on your healing. To me, it accelerates your healing if you're doing the rituals in conjunction with your shadow
okay.
work. To me, it just helps it, it just accelerates your healing where you don't have to do it alone. They're helping you. And I think who talked about that? I think Kay talked about that when she said she found out she can work with the angel Raphael for
Mm,
doing
mm-hmm,
certain stuff. Sometimes you come in contact with these different angels and you find out they can do other stuff. Not just the things that we talked about. They'll say, "Hey, I can do this too. You want me to help you do this?" And you be like, "I didn't know you knew to do that." "Yeah, I can
right.
help you do that too." So and again, they're going to be communicating with you again through your thoughts. through your feelings. And we're going over spiritual communication a lot over there. So I recommend that you guys, if you don't read the book or whatever, listen to the
So
lectures.
if you get like prompted like at three some between 3 and 5 in the morning, sometimes when I
Mm.
get prompted to get up, I be so tired. I be so wired. I be like, man, I just want to go to the bathroom and go back to bed. So
Hmm. Sometimes that
I
happens.
be, but I feel so guilty afterwards. I'm like, I said I probably needed to be in there talking to my ancestors some at this time.
Okay. Okay, so you again to divide it up like this. Maybe you could get up 2 or 3 times in a week. Get up
Okay,
that time.
okay,
Okay, you can do breakfast and then rest them other weeks when you say you're just gonna do your Bible verses or something like that when you get up and
okay,
refresh yourself. Okay, you can break it up. You don't have to do this every day. You can say, "Well, I'm gonna do this 3 or 4 times a week. I'm gonna get up at this time, 3 or 4 days, and then I'm gonna break myself, and then I go and do some psalm works and prayer works
okay,
on these days." You can break it up like that. Do what works for you, beloved. It don't have to be. The only thing it has to
okay,
work for you. Integrate it in a way it'll work for you, where you don't have to feel guilty. Where if you feel you find yourself being like this is too demanding, okay, well let me give myself a little break. I'm gonna focus on my psalms, my prayers on these mornings, and then on these mornings I get up at this time and do whatever you're gonna do
okay.
with your ritual. I told you take baby steps. Then I tell you
Yes,
take baby
yeah.
steps.
I be trying to do it all. I'm trying to reel it in. Trying to reel it in.
Baby, long as you consistent, them spirits gonna answer you. They see your heart. They see every time when you getting up and you using your mouth, you praying. They see that. And believe me, that start coming up in your dreams. You consistent at your rituals and doing what you're doing. They see your ancestors see you. They see you. Okay. And if you're paying attention, you should feel a difference in your emotions and your mind. Always gauge on what do you need, how do I feel. If you can't do nothing when you get up, how do I need? What do I need? How do I feel? And sit there for it. And therefore you know it, you'll be planning out your day.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's gonna feel right. Begin taking that time. What do I need? What do I feel? Everything else can wait. I don't give a
Mm,
damn. That let them wait. You're spirit centered. You always go back. That shit can wait. And you come to find out, time will start working for you when you start demanding it like that. Your time and your spiritual center, for you know it, you'll be in alignment with synchronicities and divine timing. You wasn't late. You
I
was right on
said,
time. Even when you late, you was right on time. What the hell you talking about?
right. Okay. Because I be hard on myself. I'm telling you. I do. But I be beating myself up over this.
You know. So I mean, I've seen that divine time, and I was remember I was going to a 12-step meeting. I hadn't been to a meeting in a while. I like going to those meetings sometimes because, and I love listening to people testimony in those 12 steps meeting, baby, honey. I see how they have power be moving in their life, honey. I be like, oh yes, yes, it's like going to church to me when I go to a 12-step meeting. I love hearing it. I love testimonies, and so I didn't go to that. I hadn't been to this meeting in a while, and Essence said, "You need to go and get that meat. You need to go on and try to purge some stuff because I like going in them sometimes." And I said, "I'm gonna go to this one. I ain't been in this one in a minute." They said, "Yeah, go on to this one." And so I jumped on the Zoom call, and nobody was in the meeting but me and this other lady. I said, "This is crazy. Why am I here, ancestors?" And I said, "Well, you know what? Since we here, we just gonna have a damn meeting, me and you." So we got the going through our little criteria for the meeting to get the meeting started, and she started. I said, you go ahead and share. She said, I'm so glad you said I can go first, Penelope. And so honey, she got to telling me about everything on her job, honey. And those spirits started showing me what she was going through, because sometimes that happen, people start talking and I can see everything that happened to them, everything that was going on. It's like I'm right there with them when I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'm right there with them. How no spirit started showing me what was going on with that woman, and how them people was trying to do her, and just trying to make a fool out of her and take advantage of her. And before I know it, I start talking to that woman and telling her, what was coming up for me. and let her know girl, them and your higher power was trying to save you because them people regular, they finna get ready to get busted. I know you think that yeah, that was horrible. But that man did you a favor because he about to go down because that man is raggedy. And these are people in the church that was doing her like this, honey. Yeah, she was a secretary at a church doing a whole bunch of work. I mean, sweet lady. And I got to telling her how she was feeling and because I was feeling everything she was telling me. It's like I was there. And I was telling her what was going on with her and telling her, honey, you don't know. You dodged the bullet. Really, God was getting you out the way. I know that looked ugly and you was trying to stay in there, but really you was giving them people, they were draining you dry. You understand me? Them people was a whole bunch of vampires sucking the energy out of you. He did you a favor. He think he being slick, but really he really finna, so God finna put him down. God finna put him down. He don't even know. He think he's slick. These spirits think they slick. You can't trick a spirit. You can't do it. Some of these people think they can trick a spirit. You can't do it. That's why you got a lot of them being exposed. Look at TDJs. Look at these people. They think you cannot trick no spirit. So stop it. Don't even try to get over here. Don't even do it. And when I got through talking to that woman, it's like she exhaled. She said, how did you know everything I felt? I promise to God, you are a psychic, Penelope. Oh my gosh, I feel like I can breathe again after you. I said, God, I was at the right place at the right time. Okay, I didn't mean to get that woman no read or none of that, but I seen all that stuff that was built up on her like that, and she was beating herself up, and she didn't really see the blessing in it. I had to shift her mind so she could see the blessing in it. I said you gonna see about 6 7 months. You gonna be glad you got away from that place. 'Cause that man gonna be in so many scandal, so much fraud, and he ain't got to blame. He ain't got nobody to blame it on. He think he being slick by putting people in there. He can manipulate, but that's the very damn thing gonna get him in trouble. You know. So again, it's divine time. You don't know how the ancestors gonna have you bless somebody, and sometimes you don't even know it. You don't even know you're doing it. It just happens. Sometimes they set things up in a way, honey. Uh, it's meant to happen. Okay, you'll see a lot of synchronicities if you ain't already seeing them. Okay, the best thing you can do for yourself, uh, like I say, because y'all was wanting to know more about cleansing and how often are y'all cleansing?
Um, Not as often as I should be.
Are
I
you
just
doing
put
it
it like that.
once a week, twice a week?
Oh, I'll start doing it every week, but just when I feel like something that I need to wash off, or to like if I need to do it. After I did that uncrossing, I
Okay,
haven't been really, and I did my head washes a couple of times.
okay.
So my mind has been a lot clearer. It's like I don't do a lot with a lot of people, so I don't be around people as much. So I'm not
Okay.
really getting a lot of stuff off of
But you know
anybody.
when you need to do one. You know
Right.
when you start feel heavy, you do one. Okay, good.
Yes.
Y'all not seeing clients or nothing yet, or so you probably won't have to do it that much. I try once a week. Sandra the Janitor said she try once a week and just have great humor. Yeah, they do have a great sense of humor. I started and just to watch my car and protect it. I had to do that one time, honey. I remember I got this brand new car. It seemed like everybody in the world. I think that had to do something with my ex husband thoughts. I think he wanted me to have a wreck in that car. But honey, it was people almost hit me in my car, honey. I said, you know what? I don't know what's going on, honey. I took that conjure oil and went out to that car and started praying for all them wheels on my car and laid my hands on my car. I said, this got to stop. This got to stop. People trying to hit me. I don't know what they gonna have to go in there and pray for my car. And then it stopped happening once I went out there and prayed over my car. I said, just like people trying, like they didn't see me. Like they would just want to ride. I said, I'm sitting right here. What the hell? You just, you, And it kept happening a lot of times. I said, you know what? I'm gonna get out here with this oil. I'm gonna pray over this car, honey. I prayed all over that car, on the four wheels, on the front of that car, inside that car. And then I put some incense in it and smudged the car. I said, this shit has got to stop. And once I got back in there, I stopped having all that, uh, near fatalities. I understand it, but the spirit kept telling us that it's that husband. It's that husband. He really wants you to wreck that car because I think he got that insurance on my car where if I totaled it out, it'll pay for that car and then buy another car. Some stuff like that, that kind of insurance he had on that car. And he had a old truck. And it was interesting to me that he put that kind of insurance on my car. I said, why didn't you put that on your truck? I just feel like he had an arterial motive. He had already put his thoughts on that. See, some people they don't know the power of their thoughts. They don't always have to pick up nothing, go to no altar. Some people thoughts are powerful. They can mess up your whole life. You got people around you gossiping, then all of a sudden you start having these happenings. Your car break down. The refrigerator stop working. That's them things. Okay, that's why you have to tell some people you got to shut them people up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And some people don't know the power of their words. They don't know the power of their mind. And they don't always be trying to do it. I think we talked about that when we went over the evil eye. Yeah, because y'all getting ready to get another lecture on spiritual cleansing. Another lecture is getting ready to drop.
Okay.
Should be this week, and it's going to give you again about psychic attacks. It's gonna talk about psychic defense, and give you a whole bunch of more remedies and things to help you with that. But some do they mean to do it all the time? Some people don't mean to do it. That's why when you get in arguments with people like that, you know, sometimes those spirits, whatever is with them, can attack you. That's why I try not to get into it with people like that. Forgive me, move
Right.
on by my business because I don't need whatever going on with you. I don't need to be dealing with that. But some people
Right.
that they got spirits that walk away. I think Monica, she talked about that. Monica said she hate getting into it with people. That's the singer Monica. She said she hate
Yeah.
getting into it with people because she said every time she fall out with people, something bad happened to them.
Wow.
It just happened like that. She don't like getting because it usually happens. And it's some people that's just like that. They got some spirits, something that's walking with them that again that will get you. That's why you don't want to be falling. And some people you just that's why I trip out. Everybody want to be falling out with people. Why you want to be falling out with people all the time? And maybe you need a lesson with that. Some of y'all need to learn peace. You don't know that. Some of y'all
And
don't want to walk in peace.
that's what when I got into it with my neighbor, I did not want nothing to happen to her, and I did not want nothing to happen to her property. But when I looked out there, it was a few days and her car door was bashed in. I said, "Oh my goodness!" I couldn't believe it. I couldn't
Hmm.
believe it.
But see, sometimes some people already have that energy on them. Some people have these spirits that walk with them, you know, and they don't play about that person. It can be a multitude of things that's going on. So you really want to keep peace with people. You want to walk in peace if you can. I'm not telling you to be no wimp.
Right,
I'm
right,
not telling you to be no wimp. Because honey, if they want that smoke, you know what to do. They're gonna constantly
right.
become with that smoke. You already know what to do. We're gonna go to your table and ask your ancestors how to go on with this. 'Cause I mean, I had this woman at my job. This woman, honey, I don't know what happened to that woman, but she was older than me. Uh, eh, she tried to befriend me, but ancestors just like And then that COVID was coming up too, and then she kept on blowing her nose and sneezing. I said, oh hell no, I can't go nowhere with you. What shit going on? You right here blowing your nose and coughing and shit. I can't get in this car with you.
Wait, you gonna be in a confined space
Yeah,
together?
yeah. I
Mm-mm.
said, oh, hell no, I can't. And I think she got a little upset behind that. But I'm like, shit, we going through COVID, woman. She was trying to befriend me, but I was like, I'm just gonna, hang back. So that's what I did. And so I kind of think that offended her at that time, but I thought she would be more understanding because we're in COVID. Look at you, and you telling me it's
Mm-mm.
allergies? Sure it is. Girl, COVID had me so scared at that damn job. COVID had me so scared at that damn job. I remember I would be at that job because they try to make them cubicles real high and try to. I said that shit ain't gonna matter because the shit is in here. Just let me hear it. And girl, it would be and too, it came around February and March, and so that's that kind of allergy season too, and so I didn't give a shit though. But right around 12 or 1 o'clock, it seemed like everybody started coughing and sneezing at the same time,
Oh
and I
my
would start
goodness.
panicking. I would start panicking. I'm like, "What the fuck is going? Why is everybody coughing?"
Oh, shit.
My supervisor be like,
Oh,
Penelope. I said, no. Are you heard everybody cough? This shit scary. Everybody coughing and sneezing at the same goddamn time up in here. I don't even want to be up here. It was scary. It was so fucking scary. Then they started sending some people home because I was free. They was sending people home to work. I said, that's the best thing to do because shit. Ooh, Lord have mercy on that. It's funny now, but then it was scary as hell. People started sneezing and coughing at the same damn time up in there. I said, shit. And then they come in there, they don't come to work no more. You see them cleaning down their desk. I said, why they ain't here? Oh, we're just been told to clean it. I said, them people got that shit and you don't want to tell them.
so who you trying to fool?
Girl, it was just, COVID was just so damn scary. It was just so scary, girl. I was so scared, girl. I didn't want to be around nobody coughing. I remember I got myself in trouble. I had to make amends to that girl, but it pissed me off because she was sitting next to me at work, and she had this napkin, and she kept putting this napkin on my fucking desk and shit, and going on no putting that shit on my desk. I was getting mad, and
Mm.
it come to find out she had COVID. And me, because I can't be funny. I can't be funny when I want to. And so, girl, I started doing a skit on that girl's ass. I started mocking how she was doing and how she talking. I was doing she was doing everything. Everybody was laughing. Then one of my coworkers like, Penelope, she right behind you. She right behind you.
Oh shit.
She just look at me. She was looking at me. She was looking at me mock her ass. I did a whole Bernie Mac skit on her ass. Everybody I was acting just like her.
Oh my god.
But I was so ashamed. I was so ashamed. I said, I'm so sorry. But you bring your ass up here like you top line employee of the year, and then you come in here trying to get us sick with this shit. I'm so sorry. I did that wrong, and I was wrong. I had to make amends to that girl. I think I bought her lunch and I gave her a few little items to try to make amends with her. But the girl, I was so ashamed. I
Oh
said,
Lord.
damn well you should have did that. You should have did, but I did. I mocked that girl. I did a whole skit on that girl. And that my other coworker said, we wonder why you kept doing that. She was standing right there. I apologized to her for everything. I said, please, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I said, but girl, you come here like you know everything, like you the supervisor, top line employee, and then you coming up here making everybody sick with this shit. You got to be right. Shit.
He said she was top flight employee.
Yeah,
Yeah. Of the world.
yeah, That's how she acted, honey. She knew everything. Every time we had a problem, and she'd come over there and she be on that computer just fast, honey. She just going. I know this, I know that. I was just really mocking her, girl. Everybody was laughing. And then I got mad at myself. I said, "Look at you! You always got to do some Bernie Mac shit, or skit on a motherfucker. You couldn't just shut your goddamn mouth, could you? Just shut your damn mouth. None of that. Now you look at you now. You look stupid now. Sit there and mock that girl in her face like that." I said, "Oh my God, I was
Oh
so
shit.
ashamed. God, I was so ashamed. I had to make amends to that girl because I was wrong. I should have did that another way. I should did that another way, Lord. That wasn't right. That wasn't right at all. It's funny
She
now,
just
but I
spread
was
us and
ashamed
ruined the
when that happened.
lifestyle.
But we had that girl, this woman at our work, honey, and that woman bothered everybody. And it tripped me out how she was tell them, she would like demand respect out of people you disrespected. They called me Miss So and So.
Mm.
Okay, well, that's what you call me. Like you're demand, girl. Them fuck these kids ain't gonna call you that if you don't act like that. These young folks ain't gonna call you that if you don't act like that. You can tell them what to
Mm,
call you by telling them what to call you. That's what they not gonna call you. Cause you trying to
right.
make them call you something, demand that they call you something. So I just looked over there. I said, when she first did that to me, I said, again, when I come in contact with people, sometimes I instantly start psychologically examining them. It sounds like something happened to her. I don't know what happened to her, but she's kind of odd. And then she would go out her way try to look young like these young people. And she talked about me and my gray hair, but I didn't give a shit. I'm thank God and I'm here. I'm thankful for every damn gray hair in my head because I earned every last one of them bugs. You hear me? Proud of 'em. I ain't gonna try to
Sure.
die. I ain't trying to be, honey. I ain't trying to be like them young folks. Some of these, I was crazy when I was young. I damn sure ain't been trying to be like these young folks. I'm proud of this gray hair. And so, and then other young people up there, they was like, "Oh, Miss Penny, I love your gray hair. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I love it. Just keep wearing it out. We just love that gray hair. We don't like when y'all cover it up." And so I got feedback from them. And then she came in one day and she talked about my gray hair. I said, "Oh shit!" Now, she said it. She mumbled
Amen.
it. She mumbled it up under her breath. I said, "Now, I ain't said nothing to this one. I don't even mess with this one." So I ignored her. Then I started having the younger folks in the group because I think me and her was the oldest one on that floor in that call center on that side of the call center. Then I had young people come to me complaining to me about her because a lot of them knew I was a spiritualist or a practitioner. So a lot of them would come to me and talk to me about her. I said, "Look, I'm not gonna gossip about that woman with you. I'm not gonna do it. I don't know what happened to her. I think we need to pray for her." And they was like, "Miss Penny, but she be doing this, she be all in our business, snitching on us and doing this, and ain't even her business. She doing this." I said, "I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. I know what she doing. I just don't want to, I don't want to chime in and gossip with y'all. Y'all need to I don't know what happened to that woman. That's the only thing I can think about when y'all tell me stuff like this. Honey, I think that my last draw was with the gray hair because I think again, because now you coming for me for no reason. I ain't did shit to you. I don't even mess with you." And then when she would go in there, she'd shift the whole energy in the call center.
Mm.
Everybody they be looking upside her head crazy, and then she be walking through there. It was just crazy. Her whole demeanor was just crazy. She would try to switch and wear these heels like she was young, but I'm like, "Look, you're like 60 years old. I know you're older than me, so I don't know why you can't be like these children and then demand them to respect you. You can't do that. You're not acting like an elder. You trying to
Mm.
compete with
Right.
these children,
Right.
and you all in their business. These young folks ain't gonna respect you like that. You're not
Right. That's right.
behaving like an elder, okay?"
Hmm.
And so I just left it alone. But when she did that, I said, "You know what?" I went to that altar. I talked to my ancestors. I said, "Ancestors," I said, I cried too because that hurt my feelings so bad. And I went to that altar, asked the ancestors. I said, "I don't even know what to do with this one, but I'm tired of her. I'm so tired of her ancestors. What do you want me to do with her? Because I'm about to do something to her, honey, because I'm sick of this woman. She getting on not just my nerves, everybody's nerves." And I think it was another young girl too. Yeah, it was another young girl had been complaining about it too. I said, "I don't know what to do." And the man said, "Say, okay, when you go back to work, we want you to spray the hair on her desk with that Florida water." We want you to take that black onyx, take a black stone, that black onyx stone. Go ahead and program that black stone to repel any negativity that's in that woman. And honey, I said, well, how I'm afraid that's Florida water on there. They gonna know us. They said, no, it's not. Put that Florida water in a regular cleaning bottle. They gonna think it's they gonna think you sanitizing her desk. They ain't gonna know it's Florida water. They gonna think you cleaning out her
Mm,
desk. It's COVID. Everybody's
mm,
using spray and antibacterial stuff. They ain't gonna know, honey.
mhm,
I waited right till that woman got on winter break, and I ran over there to her desk. And see, the other little girl, I think, only one person knew I was a hoodoo practitioner up in there. They knew I was a worker. Okay, it was that only one girl that knew I was a worker up in there. And so I'm trying to let you in, Deborah. It's only one girl knew I was a worker up in there, and so she saw what I was doing. I went over there to that woman desk. I sprayed that mug down. I took that black stone. And the ancestor told me to put it in the place on her desk where she wasn't gonna see it. And I got finished with it right when she got off her break. I was done wiping it down, praying on it, doing what I had to do. And I remember what the little girl said. She said, Miss Penny, you think it's gonna work? I said, it's got to work. The ancestor says it's gonna work. It's gonna work. We gotta wait and see. And so I was off the next 2 days. When I came in there, that little young girl ran up to me. She said, Miss Penny, what you did worked. That woman, they moved that woman out this building. Honey, her computer fell down. Was wrapped up in the phone cord. The supervisor didn't want to talk to her. She was hollering all over the place. They sent that woman to work from home. She ain't even on this floor no more. Miss Penny, whatever you did, it worked. Shut her up right on down. She didn't need to be there.
right.
Okay? She didn't need to be
Ah,
there. She wasn't going. She gonna do nothing but keep acting a fool, and if she wasn't gonna keep acting a fool, it wouldn't have did what it did. You understand me? You see how late
mhm,
she could stay there with that, and probably I ain't never seen nobody do hoodoo like that, but that's what my ancestors told me. I laid a trick right there for her.
mhm,
She had to go. Didn't see her back in that area no more. And everybody, the whole side of that call center felt a lot lighter. People was very happy she was gone. But see, didn't
Hmm.
nobody know what was going on but me and this other coworker. 'Cause like I said, she knew I was a practitioner. She's sitting up there watching me doing what I was doing. Okay. So again, you'll have people like that on some of these jobs. You might have to do stuff like that to folks. Okay, to get them on away from you. You know, I didn't do nothing bad to her, but I wanted her the hell away from there.
Hmm.
right. It
And
did
that's
the
what
trick.
happened.
It
It
did.
did the trick. So you'll find things like that you have to do with on your job, with coworkers, with people. Uh and then sometimes I had a problem with one of my supervisors. I want to do something to her. The ancestor said, no, don't do that. I said, yeah, don't do that. She done made me mad. She got she got quality on me and all that stuff. I said, I'm tired of her. You know, the ancestor said, don't do that. That woman life is ragged. She is miserable at that job. That woman need help. That woman ain't making enough money. They got her running around here like she losing her mind. That's why she acting the way she acting. Pray for that woman. I said, for real? They said, for real. For real. You better not do nothing but pray for that woman. That woman needs some help. And I prayed for that woman for about a week. 2 weeks later, that woman told me she contacted us and let us know she was going to another job to make more money because these people driving her crazy at that job. That's what I say. When you do anything, ask your ancestors, because they have the proper way to address situation. They can see things you can see. Now I could have messed myself up going there trying to mess that woman up, and that woman needs some prayer. She needed help. She didn't need nobody doing. She needed some prayer help. She needs somebody. Sometimes people need people praying for him. They need that, and sometimes we become the intercession for that. That's ancestors can use you like helps build your character, helps build your ashe. Sometimes they don't need to know we praying for them. And the ancestors be testing our character. Okay, and sometimes you'll have that. And look, my prayer. What did my prayer do? Make intercession for her to get that job because that's what she needed. She didn't know she needed that, but the ancestors knew she needed that. And I had sense enough to obey because I'm not finna get in trouble with no spirit. I'm not finna do that for you or nobody else. I'm not doing it. Okay. And so that's what I did. And so you'll get that. So always ask your ancestors. I try once a week, especially while I'm nursing. Yes, that's right. When you nursing, yeah, you have to stay protected. I love this. I'm so happy I found this page. I was meant to be here. Oh, welcome, welcome, Eva D. Marset channel. And again, if y'all haven't read through that book, I think the most important thing to take away from this book is for you guys learning these personalities. That's one thing I put it in there so you can understand that these people work through these so-called disorders. Because our ancestors, they understood these were spirits and people. That's what the shamans understood. But now we got this new psychology. They're calling it these labels and things like that. But I know to being in contact with a person with narcissistic personality disorder, them spirits in them people, and they ain't good. Okay, these people eyes turn black. What the hell you telling me? People are saying that some of these people eyes turn black. So you telling me you calling this a mental illness, and these people eyes are turning black, and they saying devious shit is coming out their mouth. But you want me to think this is a narcissistic person? This is not spiritual. Yeah, I think it's very spiritual. These people act like something going on with them spiritually. Y'all calling it a mental disorder. Now, that's how our ancestors understood it. We knew that there was something spiritual going on with them people's minds. Okay, and even when you go in and we look at demonology, we look at demonology. Again, we have to look at psychology, and especially when you go into trauma, when somebody you experience trauma, them people insert them things in your life when they could when we go through trauma. That's why you will have me telling a lot of people this closed. Well, we don't want no pale face people over here because again, a lot of our ancestors don't like you. You did treacherous things to them. Why would you want to come over here? You could do. Y'all say y'all got y'all own hoodoo. Go do that. Work with your ancestors. Don't get in a space. You ain't doing that to them Jews. You ain't getting all up in their business like that. You understand me? Our Holocaust is way worse than theirs. Ours lasted 500 years and plus. Hell, they'll last what 3-4 years. Okay, and then nobody like talking about our Holocaust. They don't want to remember, but hell, I remember. We
Yeah, they
remember,
want us
don't
to forget. They want
we?
everybody to
I
forget
don't
that.
forget because I live
They
with this
trying to
every day.
trying to make laws to keep people from even talking about it now.
Mm-hmm. That don't even make no sense, and I remember that, honey. I can't do no remember because y'all steady showing it to you steady doing stuff to us like that over there. So how can I forget? You still got sundown towns. You still doing stuff to folks.
Yep.
So yeah, I ain't gonna let nobody over here forget. 'Cause I'm gonna break it all down to you. And every time I get, I think about it. I get, I feel some type of way about it. And some of our ancestors did not like them pale faced people. They ain't like talking in front of them people. I remember one time my cousin, he had bought this white dude home. The white dude wanted to, he wanted to get him some trees. I'm just gonna talk in code. He wanted to
Mhm.
get him some trees. So he told the white dude, "Okay, sit here. I go get you some trees." Well, my other cousin, she was sitting there, and the little pale face guy was sitting there too long. And see, one thing about my that girl though, she's something else. She don't give a damn what come out her mouth or how it come out. And that's just how my cousin is. She looked at that boy. She said, "I know one thing. That boy's been sitting here. That white boy been sitting here too long, and you don't want to be looking at him." She told him that right in front of his face. She said, "I don't like y'all." She said, "I don't like y'all. I don't feel safe around y'all. And Cornell, you need to come get this boy, because I don't like them sitting around here. He's just sitting here. Look at him. Just look at him." And her sister was like, Gentel, leave that boy alone. Leave that boy alone. She said, "I don't give a damn. They say the same thing about us. They say the same thing about us. I say what I want to say. He over here, we ain't over there with him. I don't even know why he hear this. Cornell, come get this boy." Come get him right now. You know. And Cornell had to come over there and get that boy. Said, but you got ancestors like that. I didn't get mad. It was funny to me because I was like, damn, Gentile. She said, I don't care. I couldn't even get mad at her because I'm like, she got a point.
Right.
We don't know if this boy the police or what. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know how these
Yeah.
folks is. So I couldn't really get mad. I understood what she was talking about, but her sister was getting mad. I was like, don't get mad. I mean, she got a point. I mean, everything she's saying is not a lie. You know, Cornell, come get this boy because that girl she don't like looking at this boy. Come get him. You know, come get that boy. So you got some ancestors that like that. I had a grandmother like that. She couldn't stand them. You know, you get in the car with her, she's screaming all types of slurs and racial slurs to these people. I mean, that's the whole time in the car. You know, hunky cracker. You just going, oh my God, words you ain't never heard of before. You can call white people. She know them. Get out of our way. Get out of here. We driving down the street. She just cussing folks. I said she did not like those people. Okay, you got them that they've been through so much. You can't really get mad at nobody that feel like
Right.
that. Okay, you know, so no, you can't get over here with that because you got ancestors like that. That'll tear you up. They don't like you. You got some ancestors don't like you. You know, it ain't our fault. We can't say that they ain't got no valid point. So do you be safer staying over there in your own lane with your own folks. Okay, you do be safer that way, cause we can't tell you what our ancestors ain't gonna do to you. You jump over here, ain't no telling what they might do to you. I can't
Right.
save you. Okay, that and it's not just for us, but it's for your safety too. Cause some of them they don't like y'all, and let's just tell the truth. Y'all leave that out of there. There ain't no kumbaya over here. I'm so sorry. Okay, that don't happen over here. That's not what this is. So again, and I go that intergenerational trauma, and that's why we go over here because we should not forget. And then the practitioner is not breaking this down to you and not telling you about ancestral veneration, not telling you about uh, doing the shadow work, because this is going to be the foundation of this. Because the ancestors going to be showing you stuff that ain't nobody else doing. Some of you are already doing work you ain't seen nobody else do. Because your ancestors told you to.
Yeah,
And it
it
worked
worked
too,
too.
don't it?
Yeah.
You ain't seen, and that's the work that worked. Now the work that everybody's showing, ain't nobody hitting with nothing with that. It's hit and miss. Anything they showing on the internet, that ain't gonna work. Cause you just put everybody in your business like that. Our ancestors wasn't doing that. Them folks are too busy trying to put stuff in sacks and closets and stuff they ain't want you to see. You ain't know what they had going on. You know why they had that bag in their
Hmm.
hand. Why they was going in that room so
Hmm.
long. Same thing with you. Keep your stuff private. Now, if you want to share that with your family or your friend, you can. But I don't advise that to uh put it out here on the streets like that because you taint your
Right.
work. You lose your magic when you do that. Okay, that's why you see it work for some people. It don't because that's their ancestral magic. That's what was shown to them in their family. That's why your magic worked because your ancestor showed you your magic that y'all work in your family. That
Yeah.
makes sense. It's still hoodoo,
Hmm.
no matter how I look. It's still hoodoo. It got to make sense to nobody else. It only got to make
Right.
sense to you and your ancestors. That's it. I've seen some crazy things. Ancestors had me doing some things I've never seen before, but it worked.
It's
Okay,
it's kind of like when
go
I was
ahead.
watching this one video on this one podcast about this one lady that was doing EFA, I guess. She said the way that her family do it is different from everybody else, but they follow the way that they've always done it in their family. So it was passed down to them this way, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the way that they continue to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's how you see a lot of these Ifa religions that was made. I just got through talking about that. I'll talk about it again here. And they ticks me, trips me out because they get it wrong every time. When you're looking at Ifa and these religions, they're gonna say, well, these are the traditions of our ancestors.
Right.
That is how their ancestors set up those calling cards within their religion to contact the Orisha. It does not mean that you have to be in their religion to contact the Orishas, because sometimes the ancestors will have those Orishas pulling up on you and you ain't in that religion.
mm, mm, mm.
I've seen it. You got hoodoo practitioners that work well with the Orishas and the voodoo. Why? Because their ancestors start bringing them deities in there. Because your ancestors already had a relationship with some of those deities in that spiritual practice.
Yeah.
They would
True.
start pulling up on you. You be wondering what the hell. Wait a minute. Why? And again, you'll see those crosswords people that black man, Papa leg, but leg, but show up sometimes. Again, because that's in our DNA. These are our ancestors. You look at voodoo, we've already went over the secrets of voodoo. I already told you in that book, this clearly shows you that they were deifying them ancestors. They was taking them ancestors and making them into
Mm-hmm.
lords. They had to go through an elevation ritual and all that. And you will see that with a lot of our African spiritual practices. That's why I tell, people, this is ancestral. Some of these deities you can't work with because they actually are ancestors.
Yeah.
They are actually our ancestors. They were actually living people. You see that with the saints, a comparison of the saints, people that did good deeds, they helped the community and all that stuff. They become canonized and become a saint. Same thing that you're seeing. That practice started with us
Mm.
before it got in Catholicism. It was practiced
Yeah.
with us. And then the Catholics, they adopted it later. And you guys out now. You got a whole bunch of Catholic people in there who doing and conjuring. That's what they doing up in there.
Mm.
They can't talk about us because y'all doing the same thing, but you ain't doing nothing but make it you Christianize it, which I don't even know what that means.
They slapped Jesus on it. That's what they did.
Yep, make it all right. That's what they did, but that yeah, they doing the same thing. You got people up in there praying the Mary. You got people up there. They got altars to Saint Expedite. They got altars to Saint Barbara. They got altars to Saint Cyprian. They got They got different types of altars up in there in them. They who doing and conjuring
Yeah.
up in there. And that just left the door open for us, our ancestors. Oh, they're gonna tell us they ain't doing this, but they actually doing this. Let's go ahead and slip our stuff in here because they doing the same thing. Matter of fact, this
Mm.
stuff look like it come from us. Matter of fact, this stuff look like us. So I got to ask the Catholics, where did y'all get y'all religion from? Because it looks y'all got a lot of our ancestors would not been able to go in there and synchronize that if they had not seen echoes of their own spiritual practices in there. So where did you get that religion from? I already told you we go all the way back and show you they stole everything from our ancient ancestors. I already showed you
Mm-hmm.
that. Ain't nothing them folks invent nothing but
Yeah.
murder. Okay?
And the patent office so they can steal.
Okay, that's all them folks invent, taking stuff and hurting folks and stuff. Them folks don't know nothing about God. They got to go here and look at your church and learn how to get the Holy Ghost and talk to, feel something. They have to look at you to do it. It's a trip. I was sitting there looking. I don't know if this was a Orisha ceremony or voodoo ceremony. Honeys, I get so mad when I talk about it. Please help me, ancestors. I seen these white people at Orisha Rich. They got braids in their head, braids and beating on drums and wearing elekes, jumping up and down, look crazy as for hell. You understand me? Number white people. I said this what initiation get you with this shit, and then you want us to jump over there? Girl, looked at something look like something
Mm,
crazy.
mm, mm,
I said they finna whitewash Ifa. They finna get ready to whitewash
mm,
it.
mm, mm.
Them folks is jumping, girl, look crazy. Can you imagine them with braids in their head and beads and stuff? And the white men off beat. And beat, they ain't got no rhythm.
Yes.
Some of them ain't got no rhythm. And then the woman jumping around, ain't no girl.
Mm.
I ain't see no ancestors in that. I did not see no ancestors in that. You understand me? And folks jump over there because they know you feel something. They think that you're not gonna feel the same thing we feel because we are not the same. We're not the
Mm.
same.
We are not the same.
You not like us. Kendrick Lamar
Mm-mm.
told you they not like us. That man wrote a
Mm-mm.
whole song about that. But you still, I look at that and I looked at that video. I said, what the hell is happening here? What is happening here? What is happening? If y'all go back and look at that, cause I'm sure your ancestors did. They don't want that for you. I know damn
Mm,
well our ancestors don't want that for us. That's why we keep that closed. And y'all like tell us we can't do it until initiation. Yes, the hell we can, cause our ancestors see what's going on. They see that's raggedy. What's
mm,
wrong with you? What's the matter with you? And you see them get over there, and they don't mention ancestors at all no more. Used to be in Ifa, that's all they mentioned was the ancestors. Now you got these people coming out now, they don't say nothing about the ancestors, and that's a red flag to me
mm, mm.
because these spiritual practices are founded by the ancestors. So what are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing? When I first started in here in the first 2000, I'm gonna tell you this from my experience. And I had just started working with my ancestors. And I was talking a lot about my ancestors. I had Babaloos coming in my inbox telling me the ancestors wanted me to pray for you. I said, "What?" Yes. You don't, we're not trying to do a do. We're not trying to do it. I had about two or three of them was sending me prayers, and I've never seen any prayers that was so mighty. These were mighty prayers. You could read those prayers, and you can feel your spirit start shifting.
Mm,
Start You can feel yourself start rising
mm,
up. I've never, honey, if you have never heard them prayers, they got some. I ain't seen no Babaloa on nowhere here in this era that's doing that.
mm,
They're just praying because if they even open their mouth and start praying, you're gonna see some mighty. You're gonna see some shifting happen in you. You're gonna feel a shift happen. Honey, them Babalo that was sending me, they did this to me. This happened to me about 2 or 3 months. When one stopped, one another jumped back in my box. I said, "Why are you praying for me like that?" They said, "I don't know. The ancestors just told me to pray for you." It wasn't about getting me to be initiated. It wasn't trying to get me to do some type of divination. It wasn't none of that. They was jumping in my box telling me, and they was sending me mighty prayers. I was reading them prayers. I was like, oh my God, what is happening here? It's like I can hear them. I can hear when I read the prayers, I can hear them saying them when I read them. It's like they were standing in the room with me when I was reading
mm,
those. I can hear their voice in my head when I was reading the prayers. Cause just by them praying for you, it'll help your life. It'll help your ancestral communication. I don't see none of them doing that
mm,
now. If they would just lead out and just leave out an initiation and just start praying for people, people probably would be attracted to that religion. But because I don't know what's going on. If they've been infiltrated, I don't know what's going on. But that's not it. That's not my experience with the Babalos that was praying for me, jumping in my box praying for me. And maybe the ancestors had set that up like that because like I said, once I start doing that healing work and doing rituals outside, the ancestors just showed up and showed out. And they just doing stuff. When I first got that my practice going, I mean they, and it's still like that now. Okay? But I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on with these people,
mm,
but they have eased the ancestors right on up out of there. They have. Ain't nowhere in the world them people jumping around looking crazy, trying to mimic your ancestors. I mean, had braids in their head and everything, y'all. That shit, if that didn't mess with my mind, it was just a trigger for me. I was like, what? Whoo! Ancestors rolling over in their grave right now. This is the
mm,
disgrace. This is a disgrace. No, they don't even know these people. Y'all got these folks up in here with this. I just, I don't know how to take
mm,
that. And then you get mad at us because we don't like that. We don't want to be over there. And that's a trigger for
mm.
us. We know damn well them people don't show up at our churches, at our spiritual practices, unless they trying to take some shit. But you don't know. You must don't know that, or you forgot. You forgot the story of your ancestors. You forgot that. The money more important than the ancestors now. What is it? Make me understand.
Mm.
I don't know what's going on, but I know in the early 2000s, that's what was happening to me. They was jumping in my box. They weren't asking me, soliciting me, or nothing like that. Them Babalowos was jumping in my box praying for
Mm.
me. Then when one stop, another one come in and tell me the same thing, start sending me prayers. They didn't have no ulterior motive. And when I asked them why they doing this, They be like, I don't know because the ancestors told me to pray for you. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what they did. Okay. And I think that's the most powerful thing they can do is get somewhere and sit down and pray for some people. That's what you need to do. And I don't see how y'all initiate it and you don't know that. Y'all got some powerful prayers over there. Why don't you sit down and focus on that? Fix yourself. Do something else. Don't do this. Girl, that crazy that looks so crazy to me. I can't wait till you see it. I wish I had a video of it so you can see it, girl. It look crazy. It don't even look right. That don't even that didn't even look right for them jumping around like that. And they dress like us, got their hair like us, and everything. That stuff just didn't feel right. It didn't look right. I said, hell, this is the beginning of the end for y'all over there. Y'all ain't gonna have y'all religion no more. And then when it do, it's gonna be associated with those folks. I said, now I understand why our ancestors keep hoodoo clothes. I now understand why. Okay? Cause y'all took the ancestors right out of there and put them folks in there like that. Now the religion is more important than the ancestors. You have lost your way. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know how they feel about it. They try to commercialize it like Christianity is gonna get you in a lot of trouble. You like see all them crooks that's sitting up in Christianity right now. That's just my take on that. Um, that's just my take, and I have to be careful around some of them because some of them trigger me. I remember that was on that Thanksgiving that woman tried to break in front of us in that line. The only thing I can think about this on Thanksgiving is all the people all my ancestors y'all unalive on Thanksgiving, and here you is for to give your past doing that same shit, woman. Everything inside of me want to grab that woman by her head and work her over. I had to stop myself. I was so I couldn't do them to keep remember my ancestors' story, the anger I felt. It's like I could feel their anger in me. And then she started with the white women tears. I said, woman, I give zero fucks about any tear that you have. I don't feel anything. So you can stop it with that trying to weaponize that stuff. And then you get the other black woman, they were looking at me. They was like, you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm okay. But I do mean no. I meant what I said. The fuck? And I don't give a shit about you crying. And it really is pissing me off even more with the tears. I want to slap you even more because you're using it as a weapon. You're trying to get sympathy, and it don't do nothing but make me not like you even more. It's disgraceful. It's repulsive that you still do the same thing. Nothing has changed. And then gonna tell well, she said something. I had to stop myself. She said, "Well, it's just tacky not to let anyone break in." I said it's tacky to even ask the person of color to do that on Thanksgiving. And we've been waiting in line 20 minutes. If you gonna pay for my meal, I tell you what, pay for everybody meal that you broke in front of, not just me. If you gonna make it right, put your money where your mouth is. If you really sorry. Now you don't want to have that conversation with me. I don't care how you put this, lady. With me, it's not gonna go your way. I promise to God, it ain't. I promise to God, I choose to have a problem with you. I'm just gonna let you know that. I'm making a choice to have a problem with you because you raggedy. Yeah, I'm gonna have a problem with you. My daughter had to say, "Mama, it's Mercury retrograde. Let's kind of pipe down a little bit." I said, "Okay, you right. You right. You right. You right. You right." I ruminated but about that. I had to change my mind because my mind, she was sitting across the room, and every time I looked over there, I was like, "Boy, you pulled the card today. You pulled the card. I need to do some more work around this ancestors because when they do stuff like this, I just remember I can't forget. I was like, I got to do some more healing work around this because I don't even think I handled it right. But I let her know it's absolutely not okay that you break in front of me, in front of all these people back here. Look, we've been waiting in line for 20 minutes. Now you finna bring your whole Mark and the Funky Bunch up in here. Now you finna bring the whole crew up in here to break in front of 30 or 40 people. And you think you got a pass because of your skin tone. Girl, it's gonna be one of them Alabama brawls up in here. You keep this up. And then, the people behind me, they was getting, dark skinned people behind me, they listening in, trying to see what's going on between me and this white woman. I'm like, them the ancestors, because they unready. They really unready. They really unready. Because if they see this escalate, these black women behind me, my sisters, I'm sure they're gonna feel offended
Ready to
too. They look all of us looking at
pop
this.
off right along with you.
So and these chairs in here, they ain't nothing like them chairs there. These are heavy ass damn chairs.
Say that's the metal chairs and that a
Yeah,
real.
yeah. These are wood, beheaded ass wood chairs. You get hit one of these,
Oh, you breaking something?
you probably going to a graveyard.
Hey,
Or you gonna break something definitely. But you get somebody throwing this at you, you gonna be hurt. Okay, so girl, I had to stop that because I saw them people that was ready to go. Them black people behind me, because that was the day. Because that one lady walked in, she said, "What did they say to you?" I said, "Nothing. They better not say nothing." She said, "I'm listening. I'm looking." They was on ready. You believe them black women? They was ready. You hear me? 'Cause they was listening in. Cause I made it absolutely clear. It's not just a no. It's a hell no. Okay. So you know, and I still got work to do around it. That's why I tell them people don't come over here. We got too much work to do. We're still triggered by y'all bullshit. It just runs too deep.
yeah,
And it's hard for us to regulate when we see that stuff come over. We don't even like y'all calling out our name. It's just the audacity that y'all shit y'all doing. Then you act like you oblivious to what you doing, like your ancestors did, ain't still doing the
right,
shit. What's wrong with you? Cause we think about that every time we walk out our door. We got to think about the color of we skin. Can we go where we supposed to go? Cause y'all got sundown towns and shit. Come on now. We stay in a constant state of anxiety. PTSD was passed on to us in our bloodline. We got anxiety, don't even fucking know it until we try to calm down our nervous system. We born in survival mode. It takes us a while to try to get somewhere and sit down and rest. Hell, every time we think of rest, our mind go to think of what you got to do. We can't even rest. And then you want to bring yourself over here? No. I don't want to look at you. I'm so sorry. I don't want to look at you. I don't got nothing against you personally, but I don't want to look at nobody looking like you. I'm so sorry. I just don't want to do it. I see you enough on my TV screen. I see you enough. I'm tired of looking at you. You made Jesus white. You just paint everything white. Something wrong with y'all too. I get tired of them in the new age community because every time y'all say y'all talking to these beings, why they white? I have a problem with that. And they don't just be white, they look like milk. And this is a melanated space that you're talking about, but I'm looking at these. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that. My ancestors had to tell me, get away from them people. You know something wrong with them people. Hoodoo is enough. Get yourself over here and sit down somewhere, okay? Be quiet. Don't even argue with them people. Them people, they trying to figure stuff out. We already figured it out. Get yourself over here. They're gonna always keep coming up with stuff new, rebranding your magic, calling it something else. And now that's what they do. Them people don't know nothing without you. Okay? They just trying to learn. Get over there and get out their way. I went to one metaphysical church and they was laying hands on everybody. Well, it looked like Reiki to me. Okay? That man was laying his hands on people in the church. I said, oh, they doing Reiki. How sweet. They doing Reiki on people in church. And so when he got to talking about it, and he was like, do you want a oneness blessing? I said, you mean Reiki? You mean I want you to do Reiki on me? He said, no, it's oneness blessing. The hell? This Reiki, man, what you doing this Reiki all day long? What are you talking about oneness blessing? This is a oneness blessing that I learned that I teach people.
Liar.
I said, this is Reiki. Oh, he got really mad. No, this is oneness blessing. This is different Reiki. I said, look at this man. I said, I don't know what this. I know I don't want the one that's blessing because it ain't even right. You can pass me. I don't know what that shit is, but I don't know what you calling it. But that is great key. This man was taking people and ini- uh, initiating them or whatever into his oneness
Huh?
blessing. He done named Reiki oneness blessing.
Hmm.
I said that's Reiki all day long. I don't know what you why you calling it something different. It didn't need for you to change it. It didn't need that, but see, y'all come up here and try to take credit for something that stuff ain't even yours. And you didn't change the name and rebrand it and call it something else. And everybody that anybody I know look at that, they gonna think that's Reiki.
Hmm.
I've seen them, I've seen, and it's another book we're diving in like that shows that it's got hoodoo in it, but they didn't change the meaning of the magic, so you won't even know that it's got hoodoo components in it until you open up the book and read it, because they don't expect us to open up this stuff and
Hmm.
read it. They really don't. And then I can't really blame, because you got a lot of practitioners out here too. They don't read any occult books. They don't know nothing about that. They're just spewing stuff out they repeat. They don't sit down and study and take a deeper dive so they can know what's in them themselves. They're just repeating stuff.
Right.
Nobody, it's not a lot of them is sitting down like we doing and looking at this stuff. Okay. A lot of them is out there guessing. That's why a lot of them is confused. And the thing about you get a chance to really sit down and look at the materials and see, look at the false and look at facts. Okay, you really get it under a chance to understand what hoodoo really is, and a lot of people don't know that because they think it's just full of work and psalms, but you know that it's more than that that's going on with there. A lot of people won't know what you guys learn over here because they just know the surface level, and you're learning again the whole spectrum of hoodoo. You're actually applying it to your life. Some people, this a pass by thing. They just want to do a spell. They want some power. That's all they want. They don't got no relationship with their ancestors. They not. They just want the power. They don't know how this works at all. And then when it don't work, they looking crazy because they never figure out how it works at all. And you guys get a chance to do that over
Mm-hmm.
here. Okay, so that's the advantage that you have, and you just learn more and more and more, especially when we come here and have these discussions and we talk about things, we learn more and more and more. So that's why we have these meetings. That's why we have these book discussions. And I ask y'all, okay, because I chime in with y'all. I want to know what you want to do. I want to know what books concern you. Uh, you know, help you learn more about topics. So that's why we come here and I ask y'all things, and I try to be present as much as I can to, again, to support you as much as I can. And I think one of the another book review that we're probably gonna go through. We're probably gonna go through. I think somebody wanted to know, one was that you, Tina, who said you want to know more about the women
Yes.
mysteries. Who was
Yeah.
that? That
Women
okay.
and magic or something. Mysteries of the women. Yeah. And
Yeah,
magic or
yeah.
something like
And I
that.
think it's that red book. I was reading through that book the other day. I was scanning through it again. I had to go through it again. I was like, yeah, I can see why she want to go through this book. I was looking. I said, I can see why they want us to review this book. So that might be next on our agenda. And I think somebody else wanted to do another book. I have to go into our chat group and see. But again, going over these books, gaining more insight, or if you're looking at a book that you didn't understand something and you want us to have an open discussion on it, bring it to my attention. We can definitely come here once a month and go over
Okay.
those books and have a discussion on them. Because maybe you see sometimes y'all be seeing stuff I don't see. And that's how I know that the ancestors working with y'all, excuse me, or your spirit guys working with y'all, because y'all have new insights that I didn't
Mhm.
see. And that lets me know, again, your ancestors, your spirit guides, they're working with y'all. You're doing some shifting and you're looking at things from another perspective. So I love to hear y'all, hear your spin or your perspective on things, because it helps me look at something from like, I ain't think of it like that. They own to something, you know, and that's a big indication that some shifts and changes are happening with you. So that's a good thing when I can hear y'all guys talk about something from a different perspective. What they're saying in here, looking crazy. I need the rest from the rest. I know that's right. This is what's so good. Where can I buy the book? You should be able to buy it on Amazon, But Oshun said, she said it looked different online at Amazon, so she didn't want to buy it. But you should be able to buy it on Amazon, and it's Hoodoo cleansing and protection. Now, I like this book too because I think it goes into do it go into justice work, y'all.
It's
This
another
book
one.
just let you know.
It looked the same on the outside, but it's a whole voodoo justice book that looks just like that we got.
Okay, now with that Hoodoo Justice book, we do got the Hoodoo Justice book, and that book is something else too. You can do some work in
Hmm.
that book. I don't think nobody said they wanted to go over that book, but that's a really good book too that we have on
That book
file
got
there.
some stuff in it. I don't want to touch that book right now.
Uh huh. You don't have to, baby. You don't have to. If you ain't ready for
Mm-mm.
that, you don't
No, I
have
ain't ready for
to.
that right
Okay,
now.
you can go at your own pace.
did
But I tell you, one day, yeah, and that's how you know you're on the right track. When you don't want to do that, then you're on the right track.
did I
Hmm.
did I
Okay.
see
If you're not ready for that, that means you're on the right track.
did I see a hoodoo encyclopedia in there? Is there a hoodoo
Yeah,
encyclopedia?
You
it
probably
is one.
do. Is it? Do we?
Is it? Because
Okay. I'm getting ready to post some more
I
stuff.
tried to
Go
look
ahead.
for it in the drive. I thought I saw it when I was scrolling, but then when I tried to look for it in the drive, I didn't see it. So I didn't know because when I do a search in the drive for Hoodoo Encyclopedia, it doesn't come up.
I don't know. I have to try to find that post. It's kind of hard for me to understand what you're talking about when you say that. Did you click on the link?
I, um, I well, it was locked, so I wasn't able to click on the link to actually see it. But I
That
did
happened to me
see.
too once
And that
before
was
too. It might be another one because sometimes it's one that's locked, but then there's another one that's open, and it's the same.
let me but is you talking about the Hoodoo
Yeah, that's
Justice
true.
book,
Oh,
right?
He's talking about the
The Hoodoo
encyclopedia.
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 Mhm.
I have to go through there and see if I can find that post.
Okay.
If I can find that post, then I can drop it in the chat.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'll see if I can find that post. I post so much stuff in there. Try to give you guys as much information as I can.
I got my
Um,
picture up because I'm
but
stuffing my
again,
face.
yeah,
Sorry, y'all.
there you're fine. But again, when you if you're not ready to do that work, that's good. You're on good track because you got some people that can't wait to go in here and start doing revenge and messing people up.
Uh,
And don't get me wrong, you got. I'm not saying it's not needed. You got some people that's all they do is justice
Hmm.
work
mm,
because they're good in it. But they're good in it because they have good temperament.
mm,
Oh, okay.
It's not a good idea to go in and do justice work again with unregulated emotions,
mm,
because again you're gonna lower your frequencies, and what you think is gonna happen? Them spirits gonna come in
mm,
and start using you. It's gonna get the work done, but again, it might leave you in a very confused state. Now you got to cleanse yourself, raise your vibrations, because you didn't did that work in a revenge mind state where you're mad, your anger, your temperament. You don't have a very good temperament. Because honey, you really got to go there with humility, because you already know what's gonna happen to
Mm,
these people. You got to ask for forgiveness after you even do that work to make sure you're covered.
right,
Okay, make sure you did the right thing. It's just not supposed to be out in a malicious way. And if you're going there, and that's something you're not ready for it, that means you're on the right track. But you're gonna know when you're gonna
right.
need it. Believe me when I tell you this. You're gonna know when you're gonna need it. You're gonna have no other choice. And it should be that way. I mean, I'm very suspicious when I see people in their practice and you started putting people in pots and stuff. That means you ain't healing. You doing anything to somebody trigger you to avoid your damn self. You the problem.
mm.
Okay, you the problem, man. Everybody ain't doing nothing to you like that. Okay, now and if they triggering you, that means you need to heal in some place in a certain place. That don't mean you need to come here and stop jacking
Yeah.
folks up. That means that why am I being triggered like this? What is being what wound is they picking on here? Oh, what's happening here? I need to do some work in this area. Is this my ego? People don't do that though. You know. They don't do that. They mad, and then they wanna show they got power and think they gonna sick their ancestors about them. You ain't doing nothing. Your ancestors want you to get somewhere and be quiet. Want you to sit
For real.
down. They don't want you to do that. And then most of the stuff y'all doing, you ain't even ask your ancestors, because if you did tell your ancestors, they get you tell you sit down somewhere and go pray. That's what most of you need to be doing. You know, your mouth raggedy, and so you need some prayer. You need some uncrossing work done on you. Some of y'all come up here and you just raggedy. It ain't your fault. You know, just do work on yourself and stop blaming. I ain't never seen so many practitioners talking about somebody after them, and they putting folks. I ain't never seen this many practitioners come out and do this stuff in my life. Most of them be kind of young. Like I think y'all just need to pray. I don't think you need to be jacking folks up like this and then coming up here talking about it. That's how I tell that it ain't right, because you up here talking about it. And after you did something like that, you just keep your mouth shut and you look at the results. You don't come out here telling nobody about what you're going to do. Okay? You already talked to your ancestors. They already told you what to do. Ain't nobody supposed to know about that but you, them. It less people know about it, the better it work. Okay? So I'm telling you now. But be careful out here in these streets and make sure you keep yourself protected. Make sure you have yourself clean. But like I said, this is a really good book. Y'all are on to something with this book. Again, it talks about again these angels, demons, jinns, elementals. This book it covers a wide variety of things. Even talk about alcohol. And if I'm not mistaken, in this book is where they give you resources. I'm gonna go back here and look at this back of this book. They got rituals in here too. They help you get rid of attachments and things like that. Thought I saw in this book where each day was talking about 12-step programs. I'm trying to get to the end of it because we covered a lot of stuff. Oh, this book is just really really juicy. Talk about possession. Okay, I guess she didn't talk about it in this book. Did she leave it in here? No, she didn't have it. It's one of these books that we have. I think that might be the Magic Bible book. It might be the Magic Bible book where they got them resources in there to these 12-step programs, and they break all this stuff down on how these spirits show up in these people in our lives with trauma and all this other stuff. So you might see it in there as well. But I do recommend that you take some of the stuff in that book, the cleanses and the rituals in that book. They're helpful. If you want to tweak them to your liking, you can do that. Like I always tell you, you don't have to follow everything in that book. The thing is to find what jumps out to you and what's going to work for you, and that's how it works. And you can just run it by your ancestors. You get the okay, you can do it. So, did y'all have any questions for me before? Any questions about the book? Anything at that book that's jumping out at you and you saying, Miss Penny, I don't understand why that's there, or you want to explain something you saw in the book that you want to share.
I didn't get a chance to read it, but I'm going to.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so nothing in the book y'all want to share. So the next book, I'll probably do another poll. I'll put some books there and do a poll on the next book review y'all want to do. So you again, you'll have a chance. You'll have a heads up. You can review the book, and then you'll know exactly what you want to talk about. Okay.
Okay.
That way we don't miss anything. What you was gonna say? Somebody about to say something?
Oh no, Tina probably got kicked out because it kept kicking me out tonight. The restream.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this restream. We probably won't use this again. We don't have that when we they don't have do that happens a lot when we use StreamYard? Is
No, it was
StreamYard better,
fine
you
with
guys?
StreamYard. Yeah, StreamYard, but it kept kicking
Okay.
so many times. It just
Yeah, we're gonna probably go back to we're probably gonna use StreamYard next time for this.
yeah. Tina, there she goes. She probably
We'll probably use StreamYard next time for this. Okay. When we do our live stream. And again, we'll do the live stream book review here. And I won't go you guys get the juicy stuff. These live streams we just share with everybody so they can see how our community
Right.
function, that we're
Yeah.
inclusive.
Okay.
Okay. That I'm not I'm not a dictator. No, we have discussions. We talk
Right.
about things. Okay, I don't dictate anything. I listen. Okay, we collaborate. And then, but of course, y'all get a chance to get the lectures where I say all the juicy stuff out loud that I don't say here.
Right.
Because I say it out loud in the lectures. I say that out loud in lectures. So you guys get all the juicy stuff. And you get all the workbooks and you get all the books so you can look at them for yourself. And we'll continue to do that. But for the next live stream book review, I'll probably do those once a month, and we'll do a poll and see which ones that resonate with you guys, and then we'll do a book review, giving you the opportunity to look over the book, have your questions ready to talk about those
All
different
right.
topics. Okay. Again, that way we get more. You get more, get as much out of it as you need. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
All right.
Thank
Anything
you.
else with you, ladies? Anything else? Is that
I
it?
don't have
That's
anything
it.
else.
No, it was good.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
I'll
you.
see y'all next time and see you there on the platform. You have any questions, and I'll try to get that stuff to you today, Oshun.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All
Okay.
right.
All right,
All
y'all
right. You
take care.
too. All
Love
right.
you.
Thank
Love you
you.
Bye-bye.
too.
All
Bye
Have a
right. Bye
good
bye.
one, everybody.